Lyric's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Lyric's, continuing the tradition.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Let's see. They're as explosive as you'll find in the country. They look like Oklahoma when that run game was really going for Lincoln Riley.
Arizona State at number 6 USC, presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN. You can also listen on the ESPN app or on your smart speaker.
We are Dayton's home of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
And into the end zone goes Chris Olave. KJ Hill, 6-yard touchdown catch. Right sideline and down he goes to the end zone.
WING 1410 Dayton, Dayton's ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, welcome in. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, live here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. Mr. Kev Nash, happy Thursday.
What up, though?
NFL Thursday Night Football coming up tonight, featuring the Cincinnati Bengals, of course, and the Miami Dolphins. So there's that. We're officially at the point now where last week, of course, we had the Browns on Thursday Night Football. We weren't here to discuss that, of course, and too bad, though, because it was a great game. Fantastic game. Game of the year.
For one of us.
But we'll talk NFL today. Of course, we'll preview tonight's Bengals and Dolphins Thursday Night Football matchup. Of course, Kev Nash going to bring us some over-unders coming up around the corner. We do have our top 10. I got some heat earlier for saying that the Browns are in my top 10, and everyone said I'm a homer for it. I'll tell you why I'm not a homer, and you just need to watch the games to understand what the hell I'm talking about. Just don't be a hater. That's all. The question is, are the Bengals in either of our top 10? That is the big question. So we'll talk about that coming up around the corner. The pitch clock in baseball apparently has been real effective. We'll talk about that, as well as some of the other changes that were announced about a month and a half ago that will be a part of baseball permanently moving forward. We kind of lost that in the pile of all the sports headlines out there with the NFL and NBA and everything else kind of going on, college football. So we'll get to that coming up here around the corner. All right, I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash, off and rolling. You want to give us a call, you could do so at 518-1410. 518-1410. That's the number to call and be a part of the show. Let your voice be heard. Or head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook. That's where you can watch the show live weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. And then, of course, let your opinions be known in the comment section. We then pull them into the show. So, Kev Nash, do you want to start off the show with giving everyone our top 10, or do you want to go right into the over-unders? I'll let you kind of steer the ship a little bit today.
Let's do the top 10.
Let's do the top 10, shall we? We're going to do NFL top 10. So we'll start, of course, with Mr. Kev Nash's top 10 as we currently sit here right now. So, Kev, go ahead and kick us off. Kev Nash's top 10. For those watching live on Facebook, there you have it. Kev Nash's top 10. Bam. There you go.
Bam. So, number 10 for me is the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, they looked absolutely terrible in week 2. But guess what they did in week 1? They looked awesome. And that's kind of what Kirk Cousins is. He's a roller coaster. He's their starting quarterback. He's a roller coaster. Some weeks he looks great. Some weeks he looks terrible. Matter of fact, he looked terrible for most of that game versus the Lions during week 3, but he came through in the clutch. You know, you look at Justin Jefferson in that game, Jeff Okudah shadowed him and limited him to 2 catches, but somehow, some way, the Minnesota Vikings were still able to get the victory over the Lions, and without Dalvin Cook as well. So your 2 big hitters, Dalvin Cook and Jefferson, gave you absolutely nothing in those games, but somehow, some way, they were able to pull it off. So they cracked my top 10. A surprise 10 getting in my top 10 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. They are at my number 9 spot. The reason I have them at number 9, man, I'm big on Doug Peterson. I think I've said this about 1,000,000 times. I really wanted Doug Peterson to be the head coach of Chicago Bears because I really want Justin Fields to succeed in the NFL. But guess what? They wooed him down to Jacksonville, to Duval County, and it looks like Trevor Lawrence is blossoming into that number 1 quarterback that he was drafted to be. So I got the Jags at an early spot at the number 9. Number 8, I got the boys down there from Tampa, the Bucs. No, their offenses look terrible. The offensive line has been suspect. Wide receivers being suspended, wide receivers being hurt, but that defense is still lights out. So I got the Bucs coming in at number 8. A team that struggled in week 1, just like they did last year, the Green Bay Packers. They struggled in week 1, and then by week 2, they were working it. Aaron Rodgers was out dropping dimes. And guess what's happening for the Green Bay Packers? Those young receivers are starting to hang on to the ball again. So I got the Packers in at number 7. Number 6 for me, the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we're going to get into tons of Lamar Jackson arguments throughout this football season. But Lamar Jackson is absolutely balling out of control. In week 1, he didn't run. But guess what? Week 2 and week 3, he did run. And he's also leading the NFL in passing TDs. But the bad thing about the Ravens is that defense is a little leaky on the back end. So it's enabling the offense to continue to score points. They got a lot of receivers out there, no like big poppy names, but those young receivers are trying to make a name for themselves, like Rashad Bateman from Minnesota, Duvernay from Texas. So it's some young receivers out there making plays for the Baltimore Ravens along with Lamar Jackson. Number 5, a team that I thought that I would have a lot higher than this, but as I thought about it, I just don't. I got the Kansas City Chiefs, coming in at the number 5 spot. I don't know why I had them this low, but as I think about it, I realized they got problems on defense still got problems on defense. Even though they let a lot of money go with Tyreek Hill going elsewhere, this defense is not good. It's just not. Now, the offense is great. The offense is going to continue to be great, but they got problems on defense, and being number 5 isn't a horrible spot. Number 4, the Super Bowl champs, the Rams. Almost called them somebody else, but they still are the Rams. The Rams are the Rams. I actually got to see this team in person on Sunday. I saw them play the Cardinals out there in Arizona. Defense is lights out. Actually saw Aaron Donald very close and personal. Everything that you see on TV about Aaron Donald, imagine that times 10 looking at him person to person. So he's a big guy making big things happen. And to be honest, their offense isn't even clicking yet. They could have really blew the Cardinals out of the water if Cam Akers didn't fumble on the 1-inch yard line, kind of like how he did in multiple games during the playoff stretch for them last season. So I got them coming in at the number 4 slot. I still think that they got some big things cooking for them this upcoming season. Number 3, fly, Eagle, fly. KB, I know you're listening. I know you're happy that you got your team up there in my top 5. I'm sure you got them number 1, but I got the Eagles. The things that Jalen Hurts is able to accomplish with this offense, I commend. Now, their head coach, he had a terrible press conference, and people were ready to run him out of town, hand raised to this guy, myself included. But he did something that great head coaches do. They adapt. They try to have Jalen Hurts trying to be the next Joe Montana. What did they do? They said, forget that. Let's run the same offense Lincoln Riley ran. And that's what they started doing, and that's how they snuck their way into the playoffs. And guess what they did this season? We're going to continue to run that Oklahoma offense because he runs it well. And then when they went out, they went and got him a big-time receiver in A.J. Brown and drafted another receiver out of Alabama. So they're scoring a ton of points and running the ball very effectively. So I got the Eagles coming in at number 3. Yes, Buffalo. They lost last week to the Miami Dolphins, but they're still real good. I know they got a lot of injuries on the back end, but guess what? They drafted guys. So now they're going to be playing more right now, so to be better later. So I got the Buffalo Bills coming in at the number 2 spot. And at the number 1 spot, to my surprise, to Kenner's surprise, to your surprise, the Miami Dolphins, the team that your beloved Cincinnati Bengals play tonight on Thursday Night Football.
Already. He goes, wow, Miami number 1. With
number
not
1,
not 2, not 3, but 4 question marks, Kev.
I mean, they beat my number 2 team. If this was college football, they would be number 1 if they beat the number 2 team, right? So I got the Dolphins. I got the Fins up there. It's early. It's week 3. This is what do they say? Fluid. But currently, I got the Fins number 1. Got the Fins number 1, man. Shouts out to Tua.
All right. So that's Kev Nash. No Browns in there.
No Browns.
Why? What keeps the Browns out for you?
Jacksonville. I'm just huge on Doug Peterson, and I'm huge on his ability to bring out that top tier talent that is Trevor Lawrence. That's the team that I had my eye on all season. And I thought, like, all right, man, maybe they'll go like 8-9. Maybe they'll be messing around with the playoffs. These first 3 weeks of the season, they could be 3-0. They could be 3-0 right now. I think they're going to win the AFC South. Looking at it right now, like they're the most healthy team. They got the best quarterback out of there, and he's only a rookie. I mean, they're spreading the ball out. I mean, we haven't heard the name Marvin Jones since he played for the Bengals. He had a pit stop up there in Detroit, and now we're hearing his name go over 100 yards receiving again. Zay Jones, they picked up him in free agency from the Las Vegas Raiders. Sure could use him back out there with the Raiders with my guy Hunter Renfrow fumbling 2 times versus the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. But yeah, they got a lot of good players. Nobody like great, but they got a lot of good players, and I really like Doug Peterson. I think he's going to help that team get to where they want to be, and I think they're going to be in the playoffs this year off these first 3 games.
As funny of a question as this sounds, what makes the Packers better than the Browns right now?
Aaron Rodgers and their defense. I think their defense is still top-notch. I think the Browns' defense has a lot of names that we know. I mean, we know the Myles Garrett. We know the Denzel Ward. Obviously, he's a former Buckeye. It's a lot of names out there. Are the playmakers making plays? Do their playmakers really make plays for the Cleveland Browns? Myles Garrett's supposed to be a playmaker, but I saw this stat fly across the screen one day about his sacks in the fourth quarter. You know, he had single-digit sacks in the fourth quarter for his entire career, while guys like Aaron Donald and T.J. Watt have double digits. And
he doesn't cherry pick, man. He gets his stuff done early. He comes in early, gets his work done, and he goes home.
For the amount of
an hour of work in and goes home.
That's my kind of guy. But so those are the things that I question about the Cleveland Browns. And I also want to send thoughts and prayers to Myles Garrett. I know he's in a bad car accident earlier this week, man. I'm glad he walked away from that car accident, man. That's not a joking matter. But, you know, the Browns are on the cusp. They're on the cusp. We can't deny the things that the Browns have been able to do, especially, you know, that debacle that they had in week 2 to the Jets and everything. So, but if they didn't have that debacle, they probably would be in my top 10.
A 3-0 team would probably be in the top 10. Okay. Damn. Yeah.
I'm a tough grader, man. I'm a tough grader.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all right, you said they're on the cusp. Well, I'm telling you, no, the Browns are a top 10 team. Browns are a top 10 team. My top 10, again, if you're just tuning in, the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, we're giving you our top 10 teams in the NFL. That's why I said Kev Nash's top 10. The wrong top 10, but the top 10. Here's the deal. I have the Bills still as the number 1 team in the NFL right now. It was kind of a weird week last week. A lot of weird teams went down the pack. You know, the Bucs lose. Tom Brady and the Bucs lose. Josh Allen and the Bills lose. A lot of interesting names went down last week. It's still tough a couple weeks into the season to know who your true number 1 is. This is just that premature top 10. I don't even know who the real number 1 team is in the NFL right now, because as many reasons as I can give you why the Bills are number 1, I can also give you a lot of reasons why they have a lot of deficiencies. Maybe they shouldn't be. I have them at number 1. The number 2 team I have is the Eagles. I think the Eagles, they are the only team. When I started looking at the numbers for all these teams, the Eagles are the only team that are top 5 in offense efficiency and defense efficiency. They are swarming to the ball. They're forcing turnovers. Great pass rush. Their secondary is really good. And right now, Jalen Hurts, he ain't hurting anybody. He's doing exactly what he was supposed to. He's taking that step forward that you want to see in your second year with your quarterback. I kind of like Jalen Hurts, and that's tough to say as a Cowboy fan too, to be quite honest with you. But I have the Eagles at number 2, because if it's just kind of like where we're at 3 weeks in, you know, that's kind of where we're at right now. I don't have the Bengals in my top 10, but I think, you know, if they win tonight and I think they're back, you know, if they come out and that offense explodes, I feel like they're kind of due for that big breakout game. The Bengals they'll be in my top 10 next week if that matters to people. They have not looked like a top 10 team the first 3 weeks of the season, but the Bills are number 1 because they've had 1 off day, 2 really, really good days. The Bills are number 1. The Eagles have looked fantastic to start. The Rams, outside of that week 1 debacle, you know, they've looked solid the last 2 weeks. The defense back, swarming to the ball. Aaron Donald looks good. They're still battling with some injuries too. Stafford doesn't look like to the level of what she did a year ago, but this offense, it's a well-oiled machine. I think after that week 1 kind of feeling out, probably saw it with the Bengals and a lot of teams that didn't look good. But the Rams, I have them at number 3. The Dolphins are at 4. They're 3-0. I feel like they have to be at number 4 just because of the fact that they've beat the Bills and the Ravens in back-to-back weeks. I did not think at all we'd be talking about an undefeated Dolphins team as we currently sit here, but here we are. And then they win tonight. They're 4-0, and now we're talking about the Dolphins in a completely different light. Yeah. 3-0 is solid. You're getting people's attention at 3-0. 4-0 means you're undefeated 1 month into the season, and you're doing exactly what you're supposed to. But I have the Dolphins have to be in the top 5. Just they're undefeated. They're one of the only undefeated teams left. If not, I think the only undefeated, if I'm not mistaken. I think the only undefeated team left. At number 5, I have the Browns, and here's why. There are only 2 teams that are offensively more efficient than the Cleveland Browns, and that is, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills, which I found fascinating because your quarterback is Jacoby Brissett. But Amari Cooper, who I wanted traded the last time we were on the air before I went on vacation, he has been literally the most important piece of that offense because he has allowed Jacoby Brissett to have a target that he is beyond comfortable with. He's made the plays that needed to be played when they need him the most. Huge game, of course. from David Njoku, and that offensive line is fantastic. And right now, Nick Chubb's leading the league in total rushing yards, and they're the number one rushing team in football. They have the best offensive line, and Amari Cooper's averaging about 100 yards a game at this point, and Jacoby Brissett is not, turning it over. I know he turned it over in that loss against the Jets, but let's be clear. You know how hard, that takes a collective effort to lose a 13-point lead in a minute and whatever seconds it was. It was unfreaking believable. If I had a remote in my hand, I would have chucked it through the TV when we got to Florida that day. I was so upset until the Cowboys beat the Bengals later. Then I felt better, actually. But I have the Browns as the number 5 team because defensively, it's one of those things where they drive me crazy because you watch them, they don't look like an elite defensive team, but then you look at them statistically and they get to the quarterback. They force turnovers. They do what they're supposed to, but it's not pretty. And I still don't want Joe Woods anymore. They need to move on from Joe Woods. The thing is, though, is because they're very good defensively, but they are leaving so much on that field, and that's unacceptable. Joe Flacco carved them up for 300 yards. They gave up 30 points to the Jets. But you know what? They're not good in the clutch. That's one reason why I might even have them a little too high. They are not good in the clutch, but I think a lot of that's play calling, unfortunately, and that's just the scheme it is. But I have the Browns at number 5 on my top 10 list. The Ravens come in at number 6. I was like, man, am I really saying that the Browns are better than the Ravens? The Browns look better than the Ravens right now. Lamar looks better. Lamar's playing lights out. He's not throwing for a ton of yards, but he doesn't have to. He's very efficient in the red zone. He's finding the wide open guys, throwing a ton of touchdowns, but their secondary is pretty bad. The Browns defense isn't the best in the world, but I'll take the Browns defense over the Ravens right now. So that's why I really have the Browns above the Ravens. Want to talk about how good Lamar's played? I'll take the package of Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and Jacoby Brissett and Amari Cooper, and with everything that they're doing, they're a much more efficient offensive team. That's why I have them above the Rams right now. Or above the Ravens right now. Ravens at 6. Lamar playing lights out, by the way, to start. He's not throwing a ton of yards, but doesn't have to, as I mentioned. The Chiefs coming in at number 7, and my goodness, they have not looked good offensively the last couple of weeks. Eric Bieniemy and Patrick Mahomes shouting at one another on the sidelines. Well, folks, if you're wanting Eric Bieniemy to get a job, shouting at Patrick Mahomes isn't going to get you a job any quicker. Who knows what's going to happen with Bieniemy moving forward? But Chiefs coming in at number 7. The Bucs are at 8. I actually think the Bucs are a top 5 team, but I think they're too banged up right now. They're coming off that loss against the Packers. The Packers are not a good football team, in my opinion. And the Bucs, they're just way too banged up. Offensive line's banged up. All his Tom Brady's top wide receivers are out. That's a problem for them right now. Who knows when he gets them back? Coming in at number 9, Kev, I have the Dallas Cowboys. That pass rush is way better than I thought. They're winning games without Dak Prescott and the offense. Their run game looks solid. I think they're a very similar version of the Cleveland Browns, to be quite honest with you. And that's where maybe I have an infatuation with teams with annoying quarterback habits. I have no clue what it is, but nonetheless, the Cowboys come in at number 9, and I'm with you with the Jaguars. I like the Jaguars at number 10. I love what we've seen from the Jags. This is what we were hoping to see. Not maybe last year expecting them to win a ton of games, but Trevor Lawrence looks like a true number 1 overall draft pick. That's what we were hoping to see last year with Urban Meyer. He, as well as everyone else on that roster, looked lost. Doug Peterson, you could tell, is a real head football coach in the National Football League, because I don't know where the Jags go from here, but Trevor Lawrence looks the part. And kind of like the Bengals in that first year with Joe Burrow, this feels like the rookie year for Trevor Lawrence more than last year. That first year with Joe Burrow, you knew the team wasn't good, but man, you felt like winners watching Joe Burrow succeed in that 11 games before he went down with the injury. That's kind of how I feel about the Jags right now. I don't know where they go from here, but the Colts don't look as good as I thought they were. The Titans don't look as good as we thought they were going to be. Who knows? Maybe this team sneaks up and bites someone in the ass in a very crowded AFC. But there you go. That is my top 10.
Not bad at all.
Take notes. That way you could fix it for next week.
So you're not high on the Packers at all.
All right, really quick. Ron Howard, Browns ahead of the Bucs. You're a idiot. That's always my favorite. You're a idiot. You're a idiot. Thanks, Ron. Appreciate you. Anyways, continue, Kev.
You're not high on the Packers at all.
I'm not. I think their offense is atrocious, and it's not because of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers' attitude doesn't help. I don't think he's. I don't think he's doing the best to not that he needs to be Dr. Phil out there, but at the same time, he's not doing a good job of really trying to be that leader on the field of helping some of these younger guys through tough situations. But I think Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers. I'm not doubting he's a good quarterback, but I'm telling you right now, this reminds me of that big debate about, look at Bill Belichick. He's nothing without Tom Brady. Tom Brady flourished without Bill Belichick. Tom Brady had every elite weapon you could imagine. Look how bummed Tom Brady looked last week when he had no weapons. Tom Brady's still an elite quarterback. and that's it. So that's me for Aaron Rodgers. It's not that I'm down on Aaron Rodgers. I'm just down on the Packers. This is a horrible offensive team. Maybe they get better once they get the run game more established and get some of those younger receivers comfortable. But as of right now, I am not high on them at all. They still didn't look good against the Bucs. The Bucs were just that bad this past Sunday. I'm just not there yet with the Pack.
I think one of the best things that could happen for the Green Bay Packers is Sammy Watkins. Surprisingly.
Of course, Brad's watching. Brad, I knew it. Brad hates Colin Cowherd. He hates everyone that rips Aaron Rodgers. I was trying to sneak an Aaron Rodgers dig in there without Brad noticing, and he noticed, but continue.
No, one of the best things I think that can happen for the Green Bay Packers actually happened. Sammy Watkins, surprise to nobody, back on that IR. So that is forcing the young receivers to play more. It is forcing the guys like Amari Rodgers and Christian Watson, I believe his name is, to get more reps, because you see Sammy Watkins, you see the athleticism, his tenure in the NFL. He's a more experienced guy. He's going to automatically be above those guys. But forcing these guys on the field to get more reps and more morale and more whatever you want to say with Aaron Rodgers, more chemistry with him is much needed. And now you get to do that earlier. So I think it's going to pay dividends for them in the longer run of the season. And also with Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon in the backfield, I think they're going to take a step back passing numbers-wise and everything like that to be more of a balanced team as the season goes along. And I like their defense. I like the Green Bay Packers defense. They did exactly what you were supposed to do to a tattered up offensive line for the Bucs, get after Brady. And, if it wasn't for that onside kick, the Packers could have blew them out.
Well, what's blowing them out?
21
ain't blowing them out.
21
ain't blowing.
They were up 14.
But you put 21 points up. 21's not a good
21 amount. Skunk ain't a blowout.
21's not a good amount of points when you're Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brad. Sorry, Aaron Rodgers. Put some respect on that name. My bad. All right, the Justin Kinder Show.
He knows where you live. You know that, right?
Yeah, I was going to say. I think he's familiar with where I live. 518-1410. So William Yelly on Facebook, Kev, he goes, if we're overreacting like Kev is about the Dolphins, then the Eagles are definitely the number one team, hands down. I'm not against putting the Eagles number one. Like I said, they're the only team right now that is top 5 in offense and defense efficiency. I think to Kev's point, though, like you got to respect the undefeated record at this point. I don't go the undefeated record route because, sometimes you just got to look at who's playing who a little bit. That's why I said, if the Browns were 3-0 right now, I could not pound my chest about the Browns being 3-0 without pushback of people saying, well, who have you played? The only difference is the Dolphins, to their credit, they've beat the Ravens. They beat Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen in back-to-back weeks.
That's what I was about to say.
That's why I'm not totally against putting the Dolphins number one as far as that.
So where would he have them then?
So that's always when people say I wouldn't draft him or I wouldn't have them ranked there. Where would you have them, William? Where do you think they fall then, William? Just let us know. 518-1410 or in the Facebook comment section.
I don't know. People are like, well, they played them at home. They played New England at home, and then they played Buffalo at home, and the Heat. That's why it's called home field advantage. This is not a neutral field. This isn't the Super Bowl. This isn't a bowl game. Teams play at home. It is what it is. And it's just 3 weeks into the season. So I'm going to give them a lot of credit for beating a team that I think is very good in the Buffalo Bills and another team that I think is very good in the Baltimore Ravens. They beat them both. So in my eyes, they probably should be above them because they beat them and they have an O next to their name.
All right, 518-1410. That's the number to call and jump in on the conversation. I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The mid-afternoon and early evening will be mostly cloudy, a high near 68. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy, a low near 45, and tomorrow's going to be clear and sunny, a high near 72. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
My friend and I are taking a trip to Mexico this year, but neither of us speak Spanish. So we downloaded Babbel and started learning Spanish fast.
Want to get conversational in another language in as little as 3 weeks? Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons were designed by language experts to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
Babbel, language for life. celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's BABBEL.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Oktoberfest at Milano's has begun. We're serving our once-a-year favorites like schnitzel sandwiches and German pizza. Get it to go or stay for the games with NFL Sunday Ticket. See you at Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps for big screen football.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time. Time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the very best value in bath and shower remodeling and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that's safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase right now. Visit Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com. And upgrade today.
Germain Honda Beaver Creek is your local Honda dealer. If you've been waiting to buy, now is the time. For a limited time, we have 22 Honda Passports and 22 Honda Pilots with financing as low as 1.9% and 2022 Honda Ridgelines with financing as low as 2.9%. Remember, we can get the Honda you're looking for. We are taking deposits on current scheduled in-build new Hondas every day. See me, sales manager Jason High, for all the details. We're on Route 35 just east of 675 between Xenia and Beaver Creek. Germain Honda Beaver Creek, the right car, the right price, the right way.
Is there a calculator that can't compute in your kitchen drawer? Recycle it at Staples. A shredder that won't shred under your bed? Or a collection of cables cluttering up your closet? Recycle them now at Staples. With Staples Free Tech Takeback, we'll recycle your old tech free. Plus, rewards members get $5 back in rewards. So if you have modems, mice, and mobile phones making a mess of your home, recycle them now at Staples. Limit 1 reward per month. Redeemable in store only. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
Urology Specialists of Ohio are here for you. Men, your good health is important to them. Their knowledge of specific male anatomy, prostate issues, and how to help in your healing is their main focus. Urology Specialists of Ohio are now accepting new patients at all locations: Beaver Creek, Springfield, Urbana, Xenia, and London. They have been in practice for over 20 years with over 80 years of experience between 5 physicians. Call today. They can schedule your appointment in a timely manner with little wait time. Online at urologyspecialistofohio.com. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken is excited to announce their new delicious spicy bourbon chicken sandwich is here. It's the best of both worlds. Their spicy bourbon dippers that you love brought into a sandwich you'll crave. It's made with their famous spicy chicken sandwich, smothered in their special bourbon barbecue sauce, dripping with flavor on a brioche bun. Enjoy it in a combo with your favorite side and a drink, priced just right at only $6.99 and only available at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken Miami Valley locations. Lee's, famous for spicy bourbon chicken.
Need a U.S. passport? We can help. Hi, this is Mike Foley, your Montgomery County Clerk of Courts. Visit one of our convenient auto title locations in Huber Heights, Clayton, downtown, Moraine, and Centerville. Make us your first destination before you travel abroad. No appointments ever needed. We do passports.com for more info.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Hi, I'm Emmitt Smith, Hall of Famer and all-time leading rusher with exciting news.
If you suffer from chronic joint pain, Emmitt Smith wants to introduce you to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in biologic treatment for pain. I'm talking regenerative solutions that encourage your body to heal and repair itself. No medications, no surgeries, no downtime.
If you have pain in your knees, hips, lower back, and shoulders, don't assume the old treatments are the only treatments. Learn more about how you can get lasting relief with biologic treatments that can repair and restore damaged tissue.
Call to learn more about this exciting natural way to deal with chronic joint pain. Play golf without pain, walk upstairs without pain, play with your kids and grandkids without pain, get back on your job without pain, live your life pain-free. Call QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 937-936-0325. That's 937-936-0325. 937-936-0325.
The best audio entertainment this fall is on Audible. It's the home of storytelling with audiobooks, exclusive originals, popular podcasts, and more. All in one app. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
The 1-2 Bengals going up against the Miami Dolphins coming up tonight. Against Tua and the Dolphins. So there's that. Did I say Miami Bengals? Is that what I said?
Did you?
Did I mess that up? I was so busy focused on the 1-2 joke. I wasn't paying attention to what the hell else I was supposed to say. How about this, by the way?
Oh, no.
Remember an hour after the Bengals lost the Super Bowl, Joey B was up celebrating the loss with Kid Cudi?
Mm-hmm.
Or as Joe Burrow was saying, I was celebrating with my teammates, but yet he was the only one up on stage. Very weird. Me too. Like, you know, me and my family are hosting the show right now. You see him? Anywhere? No? Oh, sorry. Joe Burrow logic. I wasn't my fault. So, apparently Kid Cudi, his latest album, his new album coming out, there's a track named Burrow. Can't wait. It's the new theme song of the show.
Okay.
I don't even know what it sounds like. But, you know, a lot of rappers rap about 1-2 quarterbacks. I mean, a lot. There's a lot of 1-2 QBs in the league to rap about, and that's the one he chose. Not bad. Not bad.
Multiple things. One, Kid Cudi. Kid Cudi's from Cleveland, so I wonder how my good folks up there in the 216 feel about Kid Cudi making a song.
Well, you can't
about
really
Joe
do anything with Deshaun right now, so that ain't good for the old. That ain't good for the old aesthetics.
Very true.
And Jacoby, I mean, there's a lot of cool things you could rhyme with Jacoby, but it's Jacoby.
But I'm just saying, man, Kid Cudi, you're from Cleveland. The Guardians are going to the playoffs again. Cavs just got Donovan Mitchell. I'm just saying.
And you're focused on 1-2.
And number two, there's a lot of guys who get name dropped. I don't know how many times Kevin Durant has been name dropped by the Migos or Drake and everything like that.
He wins championships.
Ton of those dudes who get name dropped.
He wins championships. Kobe.
Lil Wayne got a song called Kobe.
I love that Kobe song growing up. Just saying.
Kobe.
Remember Petrus was his name? You never know what you're going to get. All right. It's the Justin Kinder Show with Kev Nash.
Yeah, man. This ain't Hot 102.9.
Yeah, never mind. All right. Shut up, Kev. So it's speaking of Hot 102.9. You got the noon throwback.
Yes, sir.
People can make requests for the noon throwback right here at 1410 Wing AM. I don't know if you can do that.
They can. Well, this week is crazy on the noon throwback this week because on the noon throwback, I like to come up with themes. The most easy theme in the world is out there is when it's somebody's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So Lil Wayne's birthday was this week. His birthday was on Tuesday, so we dedicated the noon throwback to him, played some classic Lil Wayne. Wednesday was Jeezy's birthday, and then obviously today, with yesterday's passing of Coolio, we played Fantastic Voyage and Gangsta's Paradise in honor of Coolio. So you got any throwback requests or theme ideas for the noon throwback, let us know in the chat. I greatly appreciate it.
I'm going to call in and request Burrow by Kid Cudi. Not for the noon throwback, but, you know.
Be on the lookout, pick of the week on the Hot 7 to 7, Sunday nights with me and Hooper at 7 o'clock on Hot 102.9.
So did you say pick, like
pick.
Joe Burrow? Like pick? What?
Oh, man, that's a good transition to over-under if you wanted to.
It is 1-2 day, baby. Is it going to be 1-3 day?
Oh.
What? My Browns, they're in the Kinder top 10. Doesn't get any bigger than that. All right, so Brad Mays, he said, "Amen, Kev, fins up." By the way, with you were talking about the Dolphins a little bit.
Pure logic.
Yeah, Brad's a big Dolphins fan. He's heading down to Cincinnati. In fact, I can't wait. He has said he has never had a good experience going to support. Brad doesn't talk smack to Bengals fans like I do. He said the Bengals fans are just obnoxious and they're horrible. And they make the experience horrible. So I give him credit for going to tough it out again. And I'm pretty sure, Brad, are you wearing the Dolphins gear tonight? That is the question. That is are you just going to blend in? Are you going to support the Fins tonight? I'm just curious because he said they make it impossible to support your team down there. I'm just kidding,
Oh, Bengals wearing all whites tonight too.
White helmets and everything.
Ooh, and can't watch it because I don't have Amazon Prime.
You said it, so there you go. Yes. Damon Hahn says Jalen Hurts has to be number 2 in the MVP race right now. Called them going 14-3 with Hurts taking home the hardware. My big thing is this:
14-3. You called 14-3. Oh my goodness.
Look, the bottom line is he can call 14-3. Damon, you can call 14-3 all you want. There should be no such thing as an MVP race 3 weeks in.
Facts.
Kyler Murray. The guy that was on the butt end of every single joke you could imagine during the offseason and the homework clause and all that. He was the MVP favorite 8 weeks in last year. How'd that work out? I know what you're saying, Damon. He's a feel-good story in the NFL right now. I'm happy for the Eagles. They were able to kind of get through that Carson Wentz thing. Remember, they drafted Jalen Hurts when they still had Carson Wentz.
Right.
That was the big ordeal. Like, oh man, what are they doing? This has worked out for the Eagles. This is what the Cardinals did when, of course, they had Josh Rosen and then they got Kyler Murray when it didn't work out. And it's kind of, might be what the 49ers are about to do, drafting another quarterback coming up if, this Trey Lance thing is an absolute debacle. So there you go. But Brad said, just got to make sure to wear an old Dolphins shirt for when I get beer poured on me.
Oh, my goodness.
First of all, how good do Bengal fans have it that they just can afford to dump
a $10 beer? Yeah. Goodness.
Must be nice.
Where do people tailgate in Cincinnati? Because I've never been to a regular season Bengals game. Where's the tailgate area?
I've only been to one Bengals game.
You were scared to tailgate?
No, I was there supporting the Ravens. No, didn't get there early enough to tailgate. I don't know. But 518-1410 reaction to our NFL top 10 real quick. Since, we have you guys here, we're going to get to the phone lines in just like 15 seconds, but just to refresh here, Kev Nash's top 10. He had the Dolphins number 1, Bills 2, Eagles 3, Rams 4, and Chiefs 5. So Dolphins, Bills, Eagles, Rams, Chiefs, his top 5. And then 6 through 10, he had the Ravens, Packers, Bucks, Jags, and Vikings. And there you go. And Vikings, by the way, don't have a problem putting the Vikings in there. Kirk Cousins is just that wild card. You never know. Like that Kirk Cousins in week 1, that looked like an MVP caliber player. If he looked
like Dan Marino out there,
but he should. That's the thing. Like that's why that people are so back and forth on him is because at the end of the day, it's one of those things where he has every weapon. You have Justin Jefferson, you have Adam Thielen, you have Dalvin Cook, you have a great offensive line. You have no excuse to not be that you were. It's to the point where I gamble every week and I pick him over Lamar for fantasy points because I keep thinking he's going to go off. And then Lamar had 50 last week. I still won though, so that's all that matters.
How?
I have to go pull up my roster to see what
I
did.
Goodness.
But it wasn't, but Lamar had 50 weeks ago. He had like 25 this past week or something like that. Or maybe it was this past.
No, it was this past. I think it was the last week, the versus Dolphins, he had like 45, and this week he had 50.
Someone for me went off. I got to go pull it up here and say I won. That's all that matters. And then my top 10, speaking of all that matters, the Bills number 1, Eagles 2, Rams 3. I do have the Dolphins at 4, and I have the Browns at number 5. No, not because I'm a homer. All you got to do is, of course, just watch the Browns and realize that, of course, what they're doing right now with the backup quarterback is pretty fascinating. Amari Cooper, after that week 1 debacle, of course, against the Panthers, has looked fantastic. He looks like a true number 1 wide receiver. I don't know who the last number 1 wide receiver has been for the Browns. They were hoping it was OBJ. Obviously, with why am I forgetting his name? The dude that was high all the time. Josh
Gordon.
What? He was.
He threw me off.
What? Are you high?
It's only Thursday.
It's all right. But Josh Gordon, I don't know if he was an elite wide receiver, a number 1 wide receiver caliber. Didn't play long enough to be considered the Browns' last true number 1 wide receiver option. Amari Cooper has been fantastic, and the run game has been fantastic. The offensive line has been great. Jacoby Brissett's been fantastic. So I have no excuse not to put them in the top 10. I have them in their top 5 because they're the 3rd most efficient offensive team in football. And if you take out that last about 75 seconds against the Jets, they would have held all their opponents to under 24 points on the season so far. So I'm fine with where the defense needs to improve. They ain't winning anything significant without that defense improving, but I'm fine with where their defense is at for the time being. Ravens, Chiefs, Bucks, Cowboys, and Jags round out my top 10. But 518-1410, 518-1410, that's the number to call and jump in on the conversation. We're live on Facebook as well. Chris Lindsay says, Kev, there is a way to watch the game, and I don't have Prime either. Dofu Sports? I don't know what DOFU Sports is. I don't know.
Well, I'll be giving it a shot tonight.
Look, I mean, you could, yeah. William says, Browns at 5, Kinner smoking that good.
It's a lot of high talk today.
Hey, never mind. I don't know what the rules are.
You don't have to wait till the weekend.
I don't know what the rules are with that. Where's Ohio sit on that, by the way?
Not legal yet.
Well, I mean, never mind. All right. The David Shaw says, when the Bengals lose tonight, yes, when, not if. When will the talk about the Bengals being overrated begin? It began last year. I've been telling you guys this for a while. They overachieved last year. But they're doing what they're supposed to. Beating the Jets, getting beat by the Steelers and Cowboys is what they do. It's coming to a song near you on the Kid Cudi album.
Who you got winning tonight?
I don't know yet.
I always take, like, if I was a gambling guy,
home team on Thursday.
Yes,
I know.
which I know you are. You're a gambler. I'm not a gambler. But yeah, home team on Thursday night, especially with this point spread. Straight up, man, it could go either way. But point spread, always the home team.
Trey Green says the Bengals are going to win. Well, of course you say that. You say that all the time. Dufu. Chris Lindsay said it's pronounced Dufu. Trey Green says they're going to win because the color rush uniforms. All right.
The Blanco on Blanco on Blanco.
All right, 518-1410. Who do we have, Kev?
We got Doug, line 1.
What up, Doug? How are you? Doug, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can definitely hear me, but now I hear you. Yes, sir. What's going on, man?
I said, you can hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I want to point something out. And I hear a lot of talk about Philadelphia.
Yep.
And what people don't realize that because they're in Dallas's division, they're doing the same thing this year that they did last year. And hear me out. What they did last year, and all you have to do is pull the schedule up. They beat up on bottom feeder teams. They won 9 games against horrible teams, and they lost every game, every playoff team that they played, they lost last year. Now everybody say they're different. That's just like Dallas. Dallas beat them 51-26 and 41-21. Dallas and Philly lost to all the same teams last year, pretty much. The difference was Dallas beat the crap out of Philly both times. Philly ain't as good as people make it out to be. They play a real easy schedule this year, so their record's probably going to be decent.
Hey, Doug, what do you have playing in the background? Doug, I'm not trying to be rude, but what do you have in the background? Are you talking to us like on a headset or something?
I'm sorry, I had it on speaker.
No, you're good. That sounds much better. Yeah, it was just echoing, man. Continue your point. I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's my fault. Yeah, but you watch when every good team that they play, they will lose, and the difference is they play a whole bunch of bad teams this year, so they're probably going to have a decent record. But they're not no better this year than they were last year. They beat up on Chicago. They beat up on Detroit. They beat up on all the bottom feeders. Just pull it up, and you'll see.
Hey, you're right. Look, they got the Lions. I think beating the Vikings, that's a good win. The Lions is a much better football team. Washington's they're okay. They're middle of the pack. I'd say a little below middle of the pack. I know what you're saying because the Cowboys were like that too. That's why Dak Prescott, like his record against winning.
You are 100% right, Justin. They're a worse version of the Cowboys. And you just said this earlier. The Vikings is the worst, best team ever. They do you agree? I mean, they could be 6-10 or they could be 10-6.
I mean, like he can come out like Kirk Cousins comes out. He can look like an MVP candidate one week and then look like, he's, you know what I mean? Like shouldn't be in the NFL the next. Yeah. It never makes any sense.
So that Minnesota win, it really don't mean that much, but you watch and see when they play good teams like Like the Kansas City beat them by double figures. The Raiders beat them by double figures. Everybody they played in the playoff teams last year beat them, pretty easily. And they beat up on all the teams. The teams that they beat, the 8 games, the 9 games that they won, you can't get 45 wins out of all those wins. The teams probably ain't have a total of 45 wins. So I'm just putting it out there. And watch Philadelphia when they play a good team. All that stuff about this, that, and other thing. I like Jalen Hurts, but I'm pretty sure when they beat Detroit last year 44-6, he probably put up big numbers. And when they beat Atlanta 32-0, he probably had good numbers. You know what I'm saying? So he had those numbers last year, maybe not.
I got a question. Who do you consider a good team then? Because I'm looking at their schedule, so I want to see where you think a good team on their schedule is actually going to pop up. Who do you think out there is good?
Now, you did hear me. They don't play very many good teams. Tennessee and Indianapolis, I hope somehow they turn back into something. Like Indy looked like they were supposed to be good this year, but so far they're looking pretty bad. And Tennessee, I mean, they had the best record in the league. But if they play Tampa Bay, they'll lose. If they play Green Bay, they'll lose. When they play Dallas, they'll lose. Now, I think them's the teams they have.
They play Dallas in 3 weeks on Sunday Night Football.
Right. And Dallas is gonna beat the crap out of them. Watch and see, just like that. You think they got 45 points better?
Well, I think that Jalen Hurts got a lot better, and also with the addition of A.J. Brown and with the big boy Jordan Davis from Georgia, teams haven't been able to do anything run the ball wise. Yeah, like
the teams that ain't no good.
I mean, the Lions aren't bad.
They didn't do nothing against that same team. Those bad teams, they didn't do nothing against them last year. If you check and see.
I get your point. They kind of backdoored in there because a team from the NFC East had to make the playoffs, and they were that team. The Cowboys got that benefit for so many years. The Giants did too. But at some point, like, they're beating teams handily. It isn't like, oh man, they're squeaking by these teams or anything like that. They look impressive. Yes, it's only 3 weeks into the season, but if they were losing these games, then I think it would be more of a problem. They're winning.
Well, I always, and I do this for Dallas. And I'm a diehard Dallas fan. Philly is a worse version of us. We beat the same sorry teams that they beat. That's the only teams we beat. We beat all sorry teams. The best team we beat last year was San Diego, and they were like not sorry, but they wasn't great. That's the only good win we had, unless you want to call those 2 beatings that we beat on Philly. But other than that, we didn't beat no good team. But the difference between us and Philly is we beat the crap out of Philly. And Philly beat all sorry teams, and we beat all sorry teams. So we beat them we scored 90-something on them. And they thought they had a pretty decent defense last year. Their running game is supposed to be good. It ain't good against a good team. Their passing game, it ain't good against no good team. So I just want you to remember, when they play a good team in Washington, they may still have a good record. Because if you're looking at their schedule, they don't play very many teams that's that good. But just remember, every time they play a bad team, bet against them because they will not win.
All right.
Gotcha.
Doug, appreciate you, man. Thank you. Thanks for not ratting me out on anything today.
I'll get you next time.
I'm sure. Take care. 518-1410. 518-1410. That's the number to call and jump in on the conversation. Dick A., how are you, sir?
Hey, how you doing there, Justin?
I'm fantastic. What are you up to today?
Oh, I just I've been playing a lot in the Strummers. We have another job Monday, so life is good.
Where are you performing on Monday? Where can the listeners go support old Dickie?
Oh, well, we played up at it's a Laurelwood nursing home by the Dayton Mall.
And I'm sure you had them up and moving, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It's pretty good, and I'm going to go to my jam in Xenia tomorrow. There's Chris, knows me from Columbus, and we get about 6 people start to singing. But I'm telling you,
are you a singer too?
Oh yeah,
oh yeah. You're a jack of all trades, aren't you?
Yeah. I just wanted to tell you, I like this quarterback for the Browns,
Jacoby Brissett. He's doing better than I thought, Dickie. I thought the Browns were in trouble. I But, he's for a backup quarterback, I think he's doing exactly what he's supposed to. So not bad at all. I agree. I like him right now. I don't feel as anxious as I did before being without Deshaun, till week 12 or 13.
I think Chubb looks good too. He reminds me of Ernest Binder and Kevin Mack. He's in their defense. I think they're gonna. I say they beat the Atlanta Falcons by 10.
They beat the Falcons. I think that's look. I don't know what to make of this game. I honestly, I don't know if I feel confident or feel worried about this game. It's going to be kind of a wake up the morning of and figure it out then. But I do know this: the Browns need this one. You gave the one against the Jets away. They desperately need a 4-0 start. I do know this: the Jets are the Chargers are banged up now without Bosa. Obviously, Justin Herbert's ribs are super banged up. So it's one of those things now where the Chargers don't look unbeatable anymore. The Patriots sure as hell are not unbeatable. I think that the Browns could end up riding this thing out a lot further into the season than I thought. And the Ravens are not as untouchable as I thought too, especially with as banged up as that secondary is. And Amari Cooper's been having a great year. Teams are running on the Ravens a little bit as well. I think the Browns are all right. And the Bengals, I have no clue what to make of them. I'm taking my shots now while I can, but I have a feeling they're about to explode tonight. And then I'm going to have to go back to being quiet about them for a while. But I'm enjoying the 1-2 start, at least for the time being. We'll see what happens. Dickie, appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Coming up top of the hour, Kev Nash brings you over under Thursday night football edition between the Dolphins and the Bengals coming up later on tonight. But when we come back, Kev, the pitch clock in baseball, it works. It works. It has shaved X amount of time off of these minor league games. And I'll let you guess the number during the commercial break. It's a significant amount of time, way more time than I thought. We'll talk about if fans noticed it and do you even care? We'll get to that next.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power and your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons, unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with peak long life universal pre-mixed antifreeze and coolant. Now just $3.99 after mail-in rebate. Limits apply. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hungry for a great time, maybe some great food? Then come on down to your neighborhood Submarine House. Try our Philly cheesesteaks, our oven-toasted deli subs, our mouth-watering salads, pizzas, appetizers, and more. And wash them down with a unique selection of craft beers while watching the big game on our big screens. With locations around Dayton, in Columbus, and our newest sports bar in Kettering, you're never far from a Submarine House. Subs, sports, spirits. Submarine House.
When Big Mobile charges you an arm and a leg, they're taking your money and your power and your arm and leg. Boost Mobile gives your power back with an unlimited plan for $25 a month on one of America's largest 5G networks. We can't give you back your arm and your leg because we're not qualified surgeons, unless you're an iguana who can grow limbs back. Switch to Boost and get an unlimited plan for $25 a month. Boost Mobile. Unleash your power. New customers only. One line, $25 per month with autopay. Additional restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com for details.
That looks delicious.
Yeah, it's Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito. Don't know if you heard, but it has double steak, cheese grilled on top of it, and nacho cheese sauce inside.
Ooh, let me have a bite.
Nah, you're already cheesy enough with all your dad jokes.
And I keep all my jokes in a dad-a-base.
Leave me alone. I'm hungry.
No, you're Dave. Hungry is a country.
Taco Bell's double steak grilled cheese burrito is back. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary. Double the steak claim is compared to the steak quesadilla.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Thinking about gas mileage.
You know, an oil change with full synthetic oil like Valvoline Advance can help your engine get more miles. Right now, you can get 5 quarts with an STP Extended Life oil filter for only $36.99. Find your solution for better fuel efficiency today at any of our 6,200 stores or on AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Yo, Pablo Torre here, host of the ESPN Daily Podcast. When you want to go beyond your feed, when you want to get inside the score, when you want to get behind the highlight, there's ESPN Daily. Go deeper into the stories of the moment. Get the exclusive access and insider perspective that only ESPN can give you. ESPN Daily, hosted by me, Pablo Torre. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Get organized with help from Menards and Dakota Shelving. Whether you need a spot for extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Dakota has the shelf for you. With a variety of attractive finishes, your shelves are guaranteed to match your style. Save 11% on all Dakota Shelving. Good through October 2nd. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers. Excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. Divorce can be complicated, especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Dayton area attorneys, a partner men can count on. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431. Online at CordellCordell.com.
Studies show that people with good oral health are more likely to have good overall health. That's why it's so important to maintain a healthy diet, to brush your teeth at least twice a day for 2 minutes, to floss once a day, and remember to see your dentist regularly. Ohio Dental Association dentists are dedicated to providing the highest quality dental care. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association, so you know you are being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who miss the fairway all day and still pull out the big stick, the type of guys who will always prefer to be behind the grill than in front of the camera, and the men who never let their friends forget about a high school nickname. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change their world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
And we are back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. So, Kev Nash, I don't know if you know this or not, but Mr. David Shaw invited you over to his place to watch the game tonight.
Let's get it.
Buddy old pals. He says, Kev, you're more than welcome to roll over to my place to watch the game, smoking wings, and can have whatever you'd like to drink available as well. Just saying.
I can hang out with a Michigan guy for a couple hours if it contains watching a good football game.
I'd rather hang out with Dahmer.
Goodness gracious. So have you started watching it yet?
No, I have not.
So it's creepy. Very creepy. Obviously, Jeffrey Dahmer, everybody out there knows like some of the story or whatever. But me knowing you're going to watch one episode and then I'm going to get a text message from you probably around 6 a.m. I just finished watching the whole series. That's how addictive personality you have. And that's how good this show is. So watch it, but be prepared to stay up all night watching it.
I have a problem. This isn't very healthy of me, but I signed up for a 9-miler in Pensacola in February. I was drunk last week in Florida, and I agreed to do it. Now I can't back out of it. So now I'm freaking out. So I'm like doing this calorie counting thing, which has been effective. But to avoid from overeating at night, I just take a sleeping pill at 8 o'clock, and I'm in bed by 9.
Hopefully there are no kids in the car that just heard you say that.
I'm asleep by 9. And then I don't wake up. Then when I wake up, it's not eating bad. It's eating breakfast.
You could take like a shot of tequila or something.
Nope. I like
so in 4.5 months, you're running how many miles?
9.
9 miles in 4.5 months.
That's the plan, anyways.
You good?
I was up at the gym about 6 o'clock this morning. Did the stair climber. I haven't started doing running. I'm just trying to get cardio going again. I'm just trying to do little things. But going to bed at 9 every night. Assisted, of course.
Goodness, Kenner. Oh my goodness.
But everyone's saying, so what's your plan? I'm like, be in bed by 9 every night. Because if I'm up past 9, I'm snacking. Man, I'm sorry. I was at Kroger the other day. They got them Oreo ice cream sandwiches. Oh. Man, I can crush a box of Oreo ice cream sandwiches. Not one, a whole box.
Not 1, not 2, not 3.
Yep. Nora gets so mad. This is why we don't buy like snacks at home, because like a big thing of cookies is not like, oh, cookies for the week. It's open it, binge watch a show, and eat the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I try not to
sexy
snack.
As me, folks. If you want to know how to look like me, well, just crouch down real low and then get fat. That's how.
They have healthy snacks,
Yeah, because people are lining up for those.
Fruit, apples, grapes, strawberries. Some popcorn is healthy.
A whole bag of popcorn's healthy.
No butter, no salt.
Not interested. So here's the deal. Found this interesting, by the way. Baseball announced that with the minor league season wrapped up now, or at least the regular season, Kev, they announced the pitch clock and the effect that it had in the minors this year. So the pitch clock was very effective, depending on those who are interested in shortening the game. How many minutes you think this shed off of the average time of a baseball game?
Pitch clock. I would imagine like at least 15 minutes.
25 minutes.
So basically a half hour.
A half hour, which doesn't like further a half hour. Minor league baseball games now average about 2 hours and 38 minutes across the board.
There you go.
So the use of, according to this article on ESPN, use of pitch clocks cut the average time of minor league games by 25 minutes this year. A reduction Major League Baseball hopes is replicated when the devices are installed in the big leagues next season. The average time of minor league games, Kev, dropped 2 hours and 38 minutes in the season that ended this past Wednesday. That was down from 3 hours and 3 minutes as far as the average in 2021. Now, clocks at AAA were set at 14 seconds with no runners on base and 19 with runners. At lower levels, the clocks were about 18 seconds with runners. So the big league 9-inning games are averaging 3 hours and 4 minutes this season. So when you guys continue to not go to Reds games next year, you will notice that when you do go back in 2024, when the Reds hopefully spend money again, that's maybe games about 2.5 hours long. I've always said this. I'm going to the ballpark to have a good time and to enjoy it. I don't want to hurry up and get there just so we can leave.
Right.
I know that this isn't for the ballpark experience. It's for the TV viewing experience. But again, they're thinking it's going to lead to higher ratings. I don't know. That's really I guess the first step is shortening the games, which they've done that at least off a 1-year sample size, of course. The next step is, okay, what is the correlation between the amount of time shaved from a game and the increase in or decrease in ratings? When I tune into an NFL game, when I watch the Browns every week, I'm not looking forward to the end of the game. I'm enjoying the game. When I watch the Buckeyes every week, I'm enjoying the game. The second Ohio State kicks off, it's not like, oh God, Ohio State, can you guys make this a quick these are the stuff I got to do. No, when it comes to Ohio State, there's nothing else I want to do or takes precedent to that. I want to watch Ohio State. I want to watch my Cleveland Browns. You want to watch your Pittsburgh Steelers, like especially last Thursday. I enjoyed watching your Steelers. No, but like seriously, I just don't understand this idea. Like, I don't know if this will help ratings or not. I mean, maybe But I don't understand why people think that I want to watch less of my product. I don't want to watch less of my team. I'm fine with what it is. I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but like no point in anything that I've enjoyed doing have I said, man, I hope this ends fast. Shut up. Shut up.
I wasn't gonna say it. I thought it, but I didn't say it. So my question for you would be, but you're a Elam clock guy, or Elam shot guy, right?
Yep.
So is that the same thing as? Well, how do you feel about the last 2 minutes of an NBA game? I should ask that.
I just think those aren't very exciting because of the clock stoppages. I think that what you should do is once you get to the 2 minute marker of basketball games, you can't call timeouts again after that. That's how you fix that. That's just my quick fix to that problem. The ending to basketball games, that issue is totally different than speeding up baseball games. They want to speed up baseball games because they feel people get bored with it. People get annoyed with the stoppage of play at the end of basketball games. The Elam ending just guarantees an exciting finish to a basketball game. I don't think the faster finish makes people enjoy the game more. But seriously, you ask me, the 2 minute war, like I think there should be, once the 2 minute mark hits in basketball, timeouts are done. Now, technically, that just takes the stoppage of play and just moves it up a couple minutes. So maybe that's not a great solution to that problem. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with that.
So for me, and this is just me speaking, I am not a baseball fan. I am a fan of the Guardians. So I don't watch other teams. So I could care less. But when I'm watching my team, I'm locked in. I'm watching, I'm enjoying the game, especially when they're playing good baseball and everything like that. So it really doesn't bother me. And also when I'm going to a baseball game, pitchers taking forever or pitching changes, it really doesn't bother me because I'm at the baseball game. I'm at the stadium. I'm having a good time. But I would like to ask, somebody from ESPN or Fox or whatever who carries baseball, how much is this is a push from the networks to try to guarantee revenue? Because in an NFL game, they know they got to go to commercial break 4 times a quarter. They run commercials while the game is going on now, if you noticed on TV and everything like that. So I want to know how much of this is really from the fans saying, oh, the game is too slow, we need pitching clocks. How much is this coming from the TV media partners saying, hey, man, we got to speed this up to make sure we're cashing in as much revenue as humanly possible from our advertisers? That's what I would want to know.
518-1410, pitch clock shaving 30 minutes off roughly of Major League Baseball minor league games, of course. Does that matter? Do you care? Does that impact your desire to watch a game, listen to a game, or attend a game live? 518-1410, hour 2 next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash.
Justin, you're awesome, baby.
Right here on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Thanks for the coffee.
No problem. With my cash rewards card from Navy Federal Credit Union, I get up to 1.75% cash back.
Isn't it 1.5%?
Now it's up to 1.75%.
That's bigger
and better. I bought these scones with my cash back.
I love scones.
Me too. Scones for everyone.
When you sign up for direct deposit, you can earn up to 1.75% cash back with the Cash Rewards Card. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Insured by NCUA.
When you download the Home Depot app, taking on big or small projects starts with a tap. It's your pocket-sized toolbox for getting more done. Image search helps you find what you need with a snap. Store mode pinpoints exactly where to go to get what you want while you're at our store. Or just tap to arrange for easy curbside pickup, all from the palm of your hand. It's the app that's made for doing. The Home Depot app. How doers get more done.
Save on everything for your next project with 11% off power tools at Menards. Senko tools make work easier and faster, along with quality you can trust. The Duraspin Auto Feed Screw Gun features blazing fast speed in a compact design. It's perfect for fast drywall and subfloor installations. Get 11% off all Senko tools now at Menards. Good through October 2nd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Is there a calculator that can't compute in your kitchen drawer?
Recycle it at Staples. A shredder that won't shred under your bed? Or a collection of cables cluttering up your closet? Recycle them now at Staples. With Staples Free Tech Takeback, we'll recycle your old tech free. Plus, rewards members get $5 back in rewards. So if you have modems, mice, and mobile phones making a mess of your home, recycle them now at Staples. Limit 1 reward per month. Redeemable in-store only. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy inherited properties, vacant homes, rentals, commercial properties, and apartment buildings. Give us a call today and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
It's time for frickin' football. Frickers has a way to make this the winning season. Try a frickin' chicken taco, grilled chicken taco, or Mississippi barbecue taco for a limited time. Enjoy a 48-ounce personal pitcher of domestic draft beer.
I like this kind of party. I like this kind of party, baby.
All the games of college and the NFL at the place that leads the way with inflation-busting prices, everyday values, and where kids eat free. The home for fun, food, sports, and spirits. Frickers.
The best audio entertainment this fall is on Audible. It's the home of storytelling with audiobooks, exclusive originals, popular podcasts, and more. All in one app. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. The pitch clocks at the minor league level shaved off 25 minutes from total game time. And, of course, that has everyone celebrating. I'm not really sure what you're celebrating. I don't know what that means. I've never once gone to a Buckeye game and said, man, I really hope that this game ends as soon as possible. I don't want to spend any longer in the shoe than I have to tonight. I mean, my goodness. You know what? Like, no, I just don't think that mindset exists. I could be wrong. And I don't think it has anything to do with the in-game or the live, game experience. I think it's more so to do on the television side of things. But at the same time, I don't believe that exists for me even watching my teams. I mean, I watched the Browns and Steelers last Thursday night, sitting around the pool watching the game. At no point did I say, man, I hope this game hurries up and ends. I'm like, no, this is great. You're watching your team. Like when you're doing like, if you think back, I saw a stat the other day that talked about the length of movies today.
Mm-hmm.
The length of movies are averaging about 2 hours and 50 minutes, which is up 20% from movies 15 years ago. Why we're paying to go watch longer movies? If we're going to go watch a 2 hour and 50 minute movie on average of what's out there right now, why isn't the movie industry say, oh, we need to make these movies shorter because people just don't want to sit here? No. I'll go watch a great movie. You Star Wars nerds out there, you guys will watch like a 5-hour movie. I think they're 5 hours. I don't know. I can't get into that. I watch real stuff like wrestling. So no, but like I've never watched Star Wars, so I'm not going to bash it. I watched, I guess, when I was a younger kid. I just never really stayed interested in it long enough. But I know it has like a cult following. You guys are nuts, right?
Yes.
But have you ever said, "Oh man, that Star Wars is great," but if it's another 3-hour movie, I'm out? No. But baseball fans, you say, oh, if this baseball game's 3 hours, I'm out. I'm not watching it. That's not true. So I just don't get that mindset. I can't relate to it. But you know what? There's a lot of people out there, and there's enough patterns to show why baseball invested into this. So apparently it worked. I guess games have been cut by 25, 30 minutes, and games average 2 hours and 33 minutes this year, down 2 hours, 38 minutes, down from 3 hours and 3 minutes. Major League Baseball games today average 3 hours and 4 minutes for the 2022 season. So when the pitch clocks are installed next year, I wonder if we're going to see, will Major League Baseball games be cut down 25 minutes?
Wow.
I don't know. That'll be interesting.
So my question is this for the casual fan? Is this couldn't be for all the fans that are going to watch regardless? Just like, you talk about the NFL watching your team or watching the Buckeyes. They're not concerned about us. They know what they got us hook, line, and sinker. We're going to watch regardless if they're playing Toledo or if they're playing Alabama. We're locked in from kickoff till they're singing Carmen, Ohio. So are they more concerned about the casual fan, keeping the casual fan and the younger fan interested in the game?
I mean, maybe, but I think that the bigger problem is you want to keep fans interested in the game. Then how about finding out a way to keep more than 85% of your sport from being eliminated from playoff contention before the season even begins? Like, I think that has a bigger thing to do with it too. And forget before the season even begins. I mean, even though mathematically the Reds weren't eliminated till like 2 weeks ago, the bottom line is they were done after April. And that's the case for about 85% of the teams in baseball. I mean, teams just don't care. Your team accidentally made the playoffs. Like, I don't know how they do that. They try. It really is like the movie Major League. They don't spend money. They try to purposely not spend money. Even the one player that they gave max money to, they still underpaid him, and they find themselves division winners and in the playoffs. Like, it's amazing how the more things change, the more they stay the same. It is what it is. But Ann Anderson, she loves the Dragons. She goes to the Dragon. She goes to as many Dragons games as she can. Big Dragons supporter. She always calls me out if I don't give the Dragons enough attention on the show. I always appreciate that. She says she attended a Dragons game this year that went 9 innings. Score was not completely out of line. Pitch clock. Batters can't step out. Game was finished in 1 hour and 59 minutes. Great game, exciting. Granted, it was not one of the televised games. That has a lot to do with the length of games as well. She goes, got to get those commercials in.
Yes,
Half
sir.
the time, the media is the reason that these games go as long as they do. Well, there's no commercial clock. My God, we got to make sure we use every minute of that to get the TV commercials in. And now in the industry we work in, yes, we do.
We love commercials.
We can't sit here, these networks complaining about this stuff, but the networks are the reason why these games go so long. We're the reason why. For a Reds game, it's 1 minute and 45 seconds per commercial break. Every time the Reds go to commercial break, it's 1 minute, 45 seconds. Buckeye games, it's 90 seconds every commercial break. And if you listen to the Buckeye pregame show, which, by the way, we will be live at Submarine House in Beaver Creek this coming up Saturday from 2 to 3:30, Keith Byers and myself. And you can hear us during the 90-second commercial break. There's I think in the pregame alone, there's 10 commercial breaks in the hour and a half pregame, Kev. 10. And sometimes I'm Paul Keels. You're listening to the Buckeyes on 92.9 Jack FM. We'll be back in a minute. They come back. I'm back after 90 seconds. We'll be back in 90 more seconds. I'm Paul Keels. Blah, 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 blah. Like, that's what it is. It's weird. It's just tag ins and tag outs half the time. And when we come back, we might give you 3 minutes, and then we'll be right back again. That's what it is. Post game is even worse. Hey, I'm Paul Keels. Your final score, 75-0. The Buckeyes win. We'll be back more with your Buckeye post game coverage presented by Encova Insurance.
Next time we have Mr. Paul Keels on, you got to do it.
You think people don't, and that's not even a good Paul Keels. Paul Keels is the great Paul Keels. I'm not making fun of Paul Keels, by the way. I'm jealous of those pipes.
Jealous of his bank account.
When you can order a coffee and sound like you're calling a great game, good for him. Everything he says is interesting because of that deep voice.
Goodness gracious.
I don't know. 518-1410. Who we got?
We got Tennessee Jeff on line 3.
Tennessee Jeff, how are you, sir?
Hey, I was at last year home open at Minneapolis, and Paul Keels was Friday night. He was in the bar at the team hotel, and I walked up to him. He was in his pajamas. It looked like he's in a robe and something.
Hold on, what is Paul Keels' pajamas? I need to know. What does a big guy like Paul Keels wear? Like
it wasn't pajamas, but
flannel pants, right?
He had on like a robe and like
a robe. He's just Paul Keels just roaming around in a robe.
I'm telling you, it was not what you usually see Paul Keels in. I want to shut up before I get it wrong. But I said, hey, man, will you sing me the alphabet? It was in the morning time. My bad. It was Saturday morning early. We played them at night. It was Thursday morning because we had them last year, Thursday up in Minnesota. So I will say this. I don't leave early because I'm wanting to go home.
Traffic,
but I will say, dude, man, like I park over on Kenny. And that's a piece, especially when you just had major shoulder surgery 4 months ago. So I'm finding, 77-0, or we're up 40 on Wisconsin. I dip out. I have not seen Carmen, Ohio yet. I left early at Notre Dame when we were like 4 minutes, 3 or 4 minutes and change ago. I rarely do that. I never do it at an away game. So I'm ready for an away game. I hope Iowa can score more than 5 points because I think they got a shot because it's in Iowa. So we'll see what happens with them in Michigan.
Not a chance.
Yeah, as far as what, them beating Michigan?
Yeah, they're not beating Michigan.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Not a chance.
Is that your team, dude?
No.
I'm just mad. I know who your team is. Yeah, I don't. They can't score. They can't score. So throughout we're halfway done with home games, and we're a quarter done throughout the season. And I kind of, looking back at September now, here's what I know. Hurts me to say, I don't know that Trevion Henderson is our number one back. Boy, does Mayan looks good. 15 pounds lighter. He looks really good. That running back room's crazy, right? Hayden, and then number 5, what's the guy? Mackett, or I don't know, the guy that bounced off the line looked like John Riggins late in the fourth quarter a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So our running backs look good. I think they'll hold back on Jackson. I don't think he'll play them Saturday. I think he'll hold him out. Julian Fleming, I was dead wrong on him. He has bounced back and he's finally healthy, and he actually looks pretty good. Remember that one catch a couple weeks ago in the corner in the end zone. Stroud, in my mind, I'm biased, but I think he's a Heisman front runner. We got October 29th, November 26th, and he can solidify that with 2 big, huge games. So we don't have – look, man, we don't have anybody left as far as – besides those 2 games. There might be a team that we're not expecting to give us a little go, maybe at Maryland, or, Indiana's nothing. Michigan State, we're going to throttle them. So the Big Ten, I think they're just not real strong. It's top-heavy. It's us. I think Penn State's a fraud. I think it's us and it's the team up north, and they are legit because I don't know how legit they got a legit quarterback, and I like their little running back in the backfield, Corum. As far as our O-line, I think our O-line is playing better than they have maybe since Warner was here in 2014. I think our O-line, it looks really, really good with Fry. I don't know that he can recruit quite yet, but because he hasn't shown anything. And then on the defense side of the ball, when's the last time we had a linebacker like this guy, right? I mean, Eichenberg looks phenomenal, and our 2 DNs, and then Hall in the middle, and then our secondary, I'm not sold on him yet as far as with Burke and Brown.
Burke didn't even play last week.
I know, man. And then when he played a couple weeks ago, it's like flip a coin. I don't know what's up with Burke, man. But we got other guys. We got McAllister. We got a couple real strong safeties. Yeah.
What, real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off. My ADD, I'll forget what I was going to ask anyways. But
that's all right.
Jigba, what the heck happened? He played against Toledo. Did he get hurt against Toledo? Did he get hurt at practice?
He tweaked it again. It is. So I know his dad, and he should not have played that game, and now it's just sore, and it's just one of those recurring things.
How healthy do you have to be for a doctor to clear you? I guess because when I always think when a doctor clears you, it means you're a 100, right? So what does that I'm sure there's doctors are like, well, you're not 100%, but you are technically capable of playing. There has to be a certain percent, right? That's what I always find fascinating.
Here's where their mindset is. I know this. Their mindset is this. Their mindset is, let's make him as close in the high to mid 90 to high 90s percent wise, because nobody's going to challenge us these next 6 weeks. The only reason Penn State might, it's a noon game, so I think we're going to blow them out. 19th year quarterback Clifford, he's their only shot, and then the team up north. After that, we are going to be 12-0. We will be, and we're going to smoke Minnesota in the Big Ten title. Here's why I believe, and I told you this back a couple months ago. I said, if we have a defense, we're not losing, and we have a defense. They gave up a few big plays throughout the year so far, but we have a defense, man, and we're simply not going to lose this year. I don't think anybody can beat us if we play our game. So to answer your question, Jackson, I think we'll be back for it at Michigan State. Or maybe I think after that's Iowa. So I think we look really, really good. It's an exciting time of year. And every time I do want to leave earlier, I'm like, oh man, it's Rutgers or it's freaking Toledo. I just remind myself of mid-July when I'm sitting in my chair thinking, God, I wish football was here. And you know what I mean? These bums that come in. But so who's going to give us the biggest challenge, you guys, this year?
Team up north.
Yeah.
Team up north, and I think Penn State is all right this year. They showed me something. They showed me a lot going. I know Auburn isn't, the big bad Auburn that they used to be or whatever, Cam Newton days, but going down there to the mighty SEC and getting a road win, that's big for confidence. You know what I'm saying? I'm a person that believes heavily in confidence and having your swag and being against all odds and everything like that. They definitely showed me something. Now they can continue to show me something by not choking away a game that they should win prior to the Ohio State game. The only game that they should, theoretically lose before playing Ohio State is Michigan. So,
Jeff,
Michigan.
This game, Michigan, I think, is the safest one to say. I know this is random. If Ohio State's defense hasn't looked as good as what it has, the team that maybe not the team. I don't think this team is elite or anything. Maryland's offense is the only one that maybe coming into the season, I was like, but that defense is buttoned up now. So I'm not as worried about going up against Maryland. I know that sounds weird. I'm not worried about Maryland, but like on an off day, you know what I mean? We saw Ohio State last year against like Nebraska and some teams that when they didn't have their stuff and that game, it's a trap. Yeah, Tulane. It's a trap game, in my opinion. And Kev said this before too with Maryland, and their offense is explosive. And on a bad day, it can cause some fits for Ohio State. So we'll see.
I'm set throughout. I got no matter what semi we go to, I'm booked in out in Los Angeles. I'm booked in. So I'll be calling you guys several more times, but it's nice talking to you.
Hey man, good hearing from you. Take care.
All right. See you.
All right.
Later.
518-1410, 518-1410. That's the number to call and jump in on the conversation. I'm Justin Kenner. He's Kev Nash. Bengals, Dolphins tonight, Thursday night football. Kev Nash brings us over under when we come back.
The Justin Kenner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The mid-afternoon and early evening will be mostly cloudy, a high near 68. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy, a low near 45, and tomorrow's going to be clear and sunny, a high near 72. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
We are racing. It's the Montgomery County Fair races at Hollywood Dayton Raceway. Catch the excitement of harness racing Sunday morning at Dayton Hollywood Raceway. Post time 11 a.m. Horses, racing, and winners. Be there!
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Oktoberfest at Milano's has begun. We're serving our once-a-year favorites like schnitzel sandwiches and German pizza. Get it to go or stay for the games with NFL Sunday Ticket. See you at Milano's Pizza, Subs, and Taps for big screen football.
Are you seeing the telomeres here? Come here, look at the scope.
Dr. Ocasio's lab startup just discovered a gene therapy breakthrough.
The cells have already doubled.
He needs a fleet of research assistants before this breakthrough breaks them.
We need lab techs, research assistants.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. Okay, easy now. You're teaching your kid how to parallel park. Ouch! Turns out he likes to do it by feel. Don't worry, eBay Motors has bumpers, taillights, trunk lids, license plate holders, 122 million parts. Pull up just a little bit. And headlights. They've got lots of headlights. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We'll get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we'll take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $69.99. You can learn more about our battery selection at AutoZone.com. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Claim based on data from the NPD Group 2021.
Progressive Snapshot can save you money based on how you drive and how much you drive. So the safer you drive, the more money you could save. Now, if you didn't hear that because you were yelling at another car while driving, let me say it again. You need to calm down. Yelling is just making everyone as stressed out as you are and letting them all know that you definitely aren't trying to save with Progressive Snapshot. And if you did hear it the first time because you weren't yelling at another car, nice work. You'd love Snapshot from Progressive because it rewards safe drivers. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California and North Carolina or from all agents.
Hi, this is Eddie Sorrell, Body Shop Manager at Germain Honda of Beaver Creek. Our technicians have over 125 years of total experience. That means we
No emperors, no movie stars, just a sportsbook you can trust. The Betfred Sportsbook app will be available on January 1st, 2023. Until then, download the Bengals app or go to betfredsports.com and have a chance to win Bengals tickets and exclusive merchandise. Official sports betting partner of the Cincinnati Bengals. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Attention all business owners who rent or lease space, including storage space. Stop wasting your money paying someone else for your space. You can now save a ton of money and own your own building with the incredible sale prices from General Steel. That's right, start saving money every month on renting space from others. Just call 877-25-STEEL to see how General Steel can help you save money. Our 50-year structural warranty buildings are custom designed for your needs and save you a ton of money. Call 877-25-STEEL.
Take it from a successful entrepreneur. If you need to expand or start a new business, you need General Steel.
Great team and the competitive pricing is the reason I went with General Steel.
Call 877-25-STEEL now, and you can get any of our popular quick construction structures, including a 40 by 60 foot building or a 50 by 100 clear span building fast and easy. Call 877-25-STEEL. That's 877-257-8335. 877-25-STEEL.
The best audio entertainment this fall is on Audible. It's the home of storytelling with audiobooks, exclusive originals, popular podcasts, and more. All in one app. Sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com.
There are many ways to catch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. You can catch it live right here on 1410 Wing AM, or you can stream the show at wingam.com. But now we have another way that you can take in the show. You can now watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook page. Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash, weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER. And ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here on Dayton's ESPN radio station, 1410 Wing AM. I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash. Give us a call, 518-1410. Kev, you want to move to your left just a little bit. The camera's got all out of a little bit more. A little bit more. And there you go. We're off and rolling. But then you moved it, then you moved again. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I mean, you know.
It was all fine till you move your fancy green screen, man.
Well, my laptop, the charger, took a blank on me, so.
Is that better?
And the camera here doesn't read the green screen, so just got these boring old blinds behind me, so there you go.
And bobbleheads.
We're live on Facebook. Head to Facebook, search the Justin Kinner Show, jump in on the conversation that way, or give us a call. 518-1410 is the number to jump in on the conversation. All right, Kev, so it's been a while since we've done this, but every week throughout the NFL season. Kev Nash, well, he brings us the over and under. So Kev Nash brings us over under. We're off and rolling, but remember, we actually have a sounder for this, Kev.
Kev Nash brings you over under.
So the Bengals and the Dolphins, Thursday night football tonight. Kev Nash brings us over under Thursday night football edition, Bengals and Dolphins. Kev, let's get rolling.
Let's start with one of your favorite subjects about the Cincinnati Bengals. Joey B in sacks. So Joey Burrow has been under duress the first couple games of the season. Many people believe the offensive line has been fixed, but it doesn't look like it's been fixed. So over or under 2.5 sacks of Joe Burrow tonight versus the Dolphins.
Joe Burrow, 15 sacks, has been sacked 15 times on the season. They held him to about 2 sacks this past week. The one thing I heard Willie Anderson on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, he goes, the offensive line always gets blamed for the sack total, but Joe Burrow is responsible for the majority of these sacks that have happened this year, like, coverage sacks and all those types of things, which is one thing I was told that the coverage sacks would go away once you got Jamar Chase. But anyway, Joe Burrow loves the punishment. He loves to get hit. All right, apparently he loves it because he has no clue how to get rid of the dang football. He didn't face a pass rush last week against the Jets because the Jets don't have one, and they still found him 2 times. The Dolphins do. Now, the Dolphins are tired. Everyone was cramping up. They played in very hot temperatures this past weekend, and, they're exhausted. It's a short week, and the home team is always and should be the favorite. I believe that the Bengals are a 3.5-point favorite. They were a 4-point favorite earlier today. I think he gets sacked 3 times at the very least. I don't think, 5 sacks should never be the norm. 7 definitely should not be. But I think that he gets hit at least 3 times tonight. But keep in mind, folks, just because we're looking at how many times he goes down, as far as the sack total, how many times after he steps into the throw is he just getting obliterated? I mean, he's getting pummeled. He got pummeled a couple times against the Jets that didn't technically count as sacks, if you will. But no, I think he gets sacked at least 3 times tonight, but I think we're going to start seeing him look uncomfortable again like we saw in weeks 1 and 2. Jets just don't have a pass rush, but the Bengals should have a solution. They had guys up in the parking garage spying on the Dolphins offense and stuff and spying on the defense and all that. So I'm just saying, Bengals are cheating, so they should protect him a lot better tonight.
Going full Patriots. I'm going to go with the over as well. The Dolphins have a bad pass defense. That means the Bengals are going to be dropping back to pass a lot to try to take advantage of that bad pass defense, which gives the Dolphins pass rushers more opportunities than normal. So I'm going to go with the over.
So, by the way, we're live on Facebook. If you want to jump in on the conversation, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, the over-under, Kev Nash brings this over-under. Over-under, what was the total?
2.5.
2.5. I took the over. I say 3 sacks tonight. I took the over. Damon Hahn, he says over 2.5. Book it. Damon, you say over 2.5. Book it. Are we talking 3? We talking 4?
Right. You talking 5, 7.
What are we talking here? You take the over. I took the over as well, Damon. I think he gets sacked 3 times tonight. But nonetheless. All right. Up next, Kev.
All right. Let's switch to Miami Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, the cheetah. He used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, the Cincinnati Bengals beat his Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game last year. The person responsible for guarding the cheetah was our own Eli Apple from The Ohio State University. And after last week's game, the cheetah said he owed Eli Apple. And currently, the cheetah is averaging over 100 yards per game receiving. So over or under 100 yards receiving for the cheetah tonight.
If you're talking about a showdown between Eli Apple and obviously Hill, I'm going to take Hill over Eli Apple every time. They're going to be lined up in some situations. I get that. I'm a fan of the Bengals defense. So they're without DJ Reader. Who I saw Jay Morrison, who was on with us earlier in the week, and tweeted out that they're going to be without him for quite some time. So that's a big blow, not just for tonight, but moving forward, especially as they start to face, some better quarterbacks. I don't know where Tua falls within that better quarterback range. There seems to be a lot of people split on him. He had that 6 touchdown performance with 4 of them coming in the fourth quarter against the Ravens a few weeks ago. And ever since then, it's been really hard to kind of figure out, where is he amongst the progression of what we're watching. So I think I'm going to say under. I still think that I still think these dudes get to Tua tonight. I think that Tua is going to be a little uncomfortable. I love the pass rush of the Bengals. Their defense has been great. It hasn't been elite, but their defense has been very, very good. And a lot of that has to do more so with the pass rush up front. I don't think Tua's good enough with the pressure in his face to continue being efficient down the field, and he hasn't really been tearing people up down the field. I don't know. I'm going to go with the under, Kev. I think that they hold him under. I still think Tyreek has a good game. May even have a couple touchdowns. I'm going to say under. I don't think he goes over 100 yards tonight.
I'm going to go with the under because this is Thursday night football, and they are the road team. You talked about it a little while ago, talking about the battle that they had with the Buffalo Bills and that heat and everything like that. So I'm going to go with the under for that reason alone. And normally these Thursday night games, the point total is under. And it's not high flying explosive offenses or anything like that. It's normally a slog fest. So I'm going to go with the under on 100 yards receiving for Tyreek Hill tonight.
Brandon Kelty, a part of the Bengals PR staff, he goes, false allegations. It's different. Difference when you practice in a public field and a college student film it versus staff. What? Look, the Bengals probably sent these guys up there to record the Dolphins. Like that's what the Bengals, they cheat. They're cheaters. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. How about the cheetah, Tyreek Hill? How about the cheetahs, the Cincinnati Bengals? I'm just saying. Wrong tiger. The other cat. They ain't a tiger. They ain't a Bengal. They're a cheetah. They're the Cincinnati Cheetahs from now on. Cheating to beat if you got to cheat to beat Tua. I mean, I know you're 1 Tua, but my goodness, you got to cheat to beat Tua. And if you had an actual practice facility, none of this would happen. You wouldn't have to cheat up. Anyways, I'm just giving you a hard time, Brandon. But Chris Lindsay says over on the 100 yards for Tyreek Hill tonight. Damon says he is still going to owe Eli after tonight. 60 yards for Hill, 175 for Waddle. He's saying Waddle's going to go.
Oh, goodness.
All right. Brandon Kelty, what up, Brandon? Again, he goes under on Tyreek Hill. Chidobe is going to be on him more than Eli, like the safety play in Cincy a lot. Yeah, that's what I was kind of alluding to earlier. We're like, yeah, I think they're going to match up. I don't know the smack talk, but look, Tyreek Hill could smack talk and back it up. Eli Apple's proven you can't talk. He can't back it up. Every time he tries to get loud in the media, he gets embarrassed. We saw that in the playoffs last year. So I'm just like, you know what? I'm staying out of that one. I still think the defense does a good job at Tyreek Hill. I just don't think Eli Apple's going to do a good job at Tyreek Hill. So there you go. Chris Lindsay says 100 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Ooh.
So Facebook user, I don't know who this Facebook user is.
Uh-oh. Don't click on that link.
It says, what's up, guys? Over 100 yards. This Facebook user is very nice. I wonder what porn star it is. What?
So we've been talking porn today. We've been talking about getting high, sleeping pills.
That's a great diet strategy.
One hell of a show.
You can't eat if you're asleep. Just saying. That's why the getting high thing's not a good thing. What? It's true.
Goodness gracious.
Anyways, Jesse Bates is backing Eli Apple. So you're saying he's going to burn Eli Apple, and there's Jesse Bates.
To make the tackle.
Well played. Next.
Let's switch over to Tua.
And Tua.
Yes, he is currently second in the NFL in passing yards with 925 passing yards through 3 games. So over or under 295 passing yards for Tua in tonight's matchup.
Look, one of those games, it's a very top-heavy. He threw for 600 yards against the Ravens. This is why I don't care about averages to start the season, because you could have one really good, one top-heavy game that balances. That's how it all works, but it's really kind of, bulked up in the first couple games of the season. 600 yards against the Ravens. And as you saw last year, that's not a good secondary. It's still not a good secondary this year. Joe Burrow's about to eat again here. I think next week is, or the week after, and couple weeks they got the Ravens. That's not a good secondary. Look, Tua's not bad. Tua's really good. But I don't think that he's this 300-yard a game guy. So you said the over-under was what?
295.
295. I'm going to say the under. I think he comes in about 270. I think about 270, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And then sacked 3 times tonight as well. I think it's just a solid
the whole stat line. Look at you.
Because he's not bad, but he's not elite either. But he's exactly what the Dolphins need. So that's where I have him.
I'm going to go with the under as well, much for the same reasons I was talking about with Tyreek Hill. It's a Thursday night game. These high-powered, explosive offenses just do not click on these Thursday nights. Not because they're not good. It's just a short week, and he's coming off the back injury. He got his back hurt, and he was grabbing his head because his back was hurt last game, because he had a back injury last game, not a head injury.
So we got a little Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
Facebook user. It's not a porn star.
Goodness gracious.
It's Willie, which sounds different. Willie. He goes, you guys cut me. We didn't cut anybody. I think there's only one person I've blocked in the history of the show, and it's because he's an absolute moron. And I'm not even his name. It's Schlop. That's the only.
They gave him any energy.
That's the only guy because he's absolutely useless as a human being. So I cut him from the Facebook page. Willie, I did not block you. I did not cut you from the page. I promise you, dude. I promise you. I don't know what's going on. Maybe you got put in Facebook jail and maybe now you're on probation and that's why they haven't given you your profile picture back. I'm not really sure what's going on, but not a porn star. His name's Willie.
Hello, Willie.
So there you go.
All right. Next up. Joe Burrow. Everybody knows he threw a lot of interceptions in the week 1 matchup versus my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. So over under 1.5 interceptions thrown by Joey B.
Over. I say he throws 2 tonight. I think he's going to press and try to get Jamar Chase the ball, who had like 59 yards last week. He was very quiet. Tyler Boyd went off. I don't expect another huge game from Tyler Boyd. They're deep enough to get away with Jamar Chase having off nights, but they can't afford to have him go on that stretch like last year. He had 5 straight games under 50 yards, including a 19-yard performance. Whatever. I don't get that, but he's a rookie last year. Who cares? I think he's going to press. I think he's going to go hard in the pass game. I think he's going to want to come out and show out in these white uniforms. I know Joey B says, I don't care if we play in trash bags. Well, that's what you played in the first couple of weeks. Guys, it was not good. But tonight they got the white helmets. They're going to try and show out. He's going to try and feed the ball to Jamar Chase. And in the midst, bam, he's going to get hit, throw it right to the other team. 2 interceptions tonight. I'm taking the over.
I'm going to go with the under. I don't think Joey turns it over at all tonight, interception-wise. May fumble or something like that, but no interceptions thrown for Joey B tonight because that pass defense for the Dolphins is sus as well.
David Shaw says, if I haven't been blocked, I don't know how anyone gets blocked. That's valid. He follows it up with way over 3+ interceptions.
Wow.
Joey B, look, he's a little generous with the football from time to time. He gets a little Baker Mayfield, he likes to share it. He ain't got to do it 3 times. That 2 is with as much as he throws the ball and as aggressive as he is with plays to chase the ball, yes, he's always going to be susceptible to being sacked and also throwing interceptions at times. But 3, that means he's having another bad performance. And if that's the case, that's when you panic, Bengals fans, because now that's a pattern and a problem. I think he got it figured out late in that second half against the Cowboys, looked very efficient against the Jets. I know it's the Jets, but I 2 interceptions isn't necessarily him having a bad game, but I think one of them will at least be from him being a little over-aggressive. But Shaw thinks 3 or more.
Wow.
He's taking the way over on that. Brandon Kelty says under easy. Joe will not throw 2. Oh, there's just no way. There's just no way that Joe Burrow will throw 2 interceptions. I mean, he threw 5 in one whole game, but he can't throw 2. Only reason I think possibly 1 is they have Xavier. Brandon, I don't think he will not throw 2. Then I'm with Shaw. He's throwing 3.
Oh, goodness.
No, I think he throws 2. But look, he's not a big turnout. Last year, he led the league in interceptions till about that 76ers. What? I have NBA in my notes over here, so I got distracted. The 49ers. Got my numbers mixed up. I'm sports dyslexic, I guess. I don't know. But 49ers. And then all of a sudden, he just started taking care of the football. When he stopped turning the ball over, their offense, that switch flipped. But I don't know. The sack. I'm more confident about him getting sacked at least 3 times tonight than I am about him throwing 2 interceptions. But we'll see what happens. Chris Lindsay says uniform's going to be back. Bad luck for the Bengals.
See, didn't I tell you that on Tuesday? They have to win this game tonight with these unis because if they lose, the fans are going to turn on these unis.
The Cowboys, they were always known for losing when they wear the blues.
The
blues. Now they won this past Monday night wearing the blues. So it's that backup quarterback, man. You guys, Bengals fans, you familiar with the Cowboys backup quarterback? I think you guys know him. You guys love them backup quarterbacks. All right, who you got?
All right, last one. Jamar Chase has only 2 touchdowns on the season. Now, Bengals fans believe that he has 4. The one that he caught against the Pittsburgh Steelers that ultimately they ruled at the 1-yard line what he was really in. And
Zach Taylor.
And then another one last week versus Jets, very similar play where he was clearly in the end zone, but they downed him at the 1-yard line. So currently, record-wise, he only has 2 touchdown catches on the season. So over or under just one TD catch for numero uno for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Chris Lindsay said he wasn't in, just so you know.
He was in. Ball was in.
Brandon said they automatically wear them week 11, Kev.
I'm talking about the fan base. The fan base is going to turn on those uniforms.
So over under 1 touchdown?
Yes, just one. Just one for Uno.
I'm going to say push. I think he just has one tonight.
Deuce here.
One. You say the over?
Over. I'm going over. He's going to get 2 tonight.
All right. And there you go. Kev Nash, over, under, and it's in the exact amount of time that the music bed gave us. How about that? That's efficiency.
These are trained professionals you're dealing with, people.
That's not, Joe Burrow getting sacked and throwing picks all over the place. That was Jacoby Brissett efficiency right there. I like it. Kev Nash brings us over under 518-1410. You want to get involved in the conversation? Willie, not really sure what happened to your Facebook page. Not on me. It's probably something you said or did on Facebook. Don't blame us for that. But if you want to call in, 518-1410, we'll be right back in just a few moments.
Listen, stream, watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash right here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Have you heard? $5,000 sign-on bonus. That's right. My friends at Cordell Transportation are now hiring Class A CDL drivers for home daily dedicated lanes, no-touch freight with brand new equipment, and offering a $5,000 sign-on bonus paid over 18 months, paid orientation, company 401k. Plus, they're now hiring recent truck driving school graduates. Apply today. Online at CordellTransportation.com. Driven to succeed.
Hey, Buckeye fans, as the official wing sponsor of your Ohio State Buckeyes, Roosters is giving away 12 trips for 2 to this year's Buckeye Bowl game. Each trip comes complete with airfare, hotel, gift bag, and 2 tickets to the big game. One bowl prize winner will be chosen each week, along with other cool Roosters weekly prizes. So register every week at roosterswings.com. Roosters, a fun casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Official contest rules at roosterswings.com.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time. Time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the very best value in bath and shower remodeling, and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that's safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase right now. Visit Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com and upgrade today.
Polking Bowling Centers are your connection for family fun or a great night out with friends. Looking for something to do this fall? It's not too late to join a fun fall league, adult, youth, or mixed. Polking Bowling Centers has a fun program just for you, providing a safe and sanitized bowling environment. Visit polkingbowling.com or Facebook for the list of fall programs. Let the good times roll at Polking Lanes in Dayton on Wilmington Avenue, Polking Woodman Lanes in Kettering on Woodman Drive, and Polking Lane South in Centerville on Kingsridge Drive.
You have empty office space to fill or home office to create. You know what you need. You know what you'd like. But you also have a pretty good idea after you've shopped around the usual places what you need and what you like might not happen. Well, then you haven't been to Charles Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. Nobody has their selection. Nobody has their discounts. And every week, there's something new. If you need office furniture, Larrick's Warehouse Outlet can sell it to you for half the price and below manufacturer's selected prices. Half price and below on hundreds of items. Selection from budget to the best. Really, desks from $50 to $5,000. Filing cabinets from $25 to $500. Before you go anywhere else, do yourself a favor and come to Larrick's Warehouse Outlet. With 25,000 square feet of selection, you're not going to go anywhere else. Larrick's Warehouse Outlet at 23 McOil Avenue, Dayton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. Larrick's, continuing the tradition.
Hello, this is Joe Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is a firm that practices family law exclusively. We focus on only one area of the law to maximize our strength and effectiveness as advocates for clients that have everything on the line: their homes, retirement, savings, and most importantly, their children. We're the partner our clients count on. If we can be of help to you, give us a call.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Dayton area attorneys. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431.
The Ohio Education Association congratulates Corey Black, band director at Worthingway Middle School in Worthington, this week's Education Champion.
Mr. Black makes the band room a really special community.
The best part about my job is allowing students a safe place to have fun and to let their ideas be heard. I really care about what every student's feeling and thinking, and that's really important to me.
we love Mr. Black. He's awesome.
He just makes it so cool.
How did hiring the right person become so difficult? Well, it doesn't have to be. Alpha Digital already has targeted databases built of very qualified candidates that are just looking for the right opportunity. That allows you to target exactly who you're trying to reach with a budget that is customized just for you. Learn about all the possibilities by going to alphamediadigital.com today. Find your next star employee with alphamediadigital.com.
Make the big game sound even bigger with your new TV and sound system from Audio Etc. There is nothing better than a home theater or high-fidelity music system from Audio Etc. 4K is amazing, but just imagine the 8K experience. Come to Audio Etc's crazy cool showroom today and experience 8K TVs and projectors, short throw projectors from 100-inch to 130-inch, all the way to your high-end dream system. Audio Etc has tons of new inventory in stock, while everybody else is back-ordered or out of stock. Get special
the games that were meaningful, and I went game by game. So I watched the games and I looked at the numbers in each game. So, like, if you took out the games that were blowouts, you know, and there were one or two in particular that probably threw those numbers off.
Family fun begins with free pumpkins, face painting, hay rides, and more. Fall Fest is free. Celebrate on October 2nd at Stubbs Park in Centerville.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
If you need new roofing, siding, or gutters, skylights, or patio enclosures, if you're a homeowner or business and need someone you can trust, don't take a chance. Enhance with Lance. Lance Roofing and Siding in Fairborn has been satisfying customers since 1993 and hold an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Lance Roofing and Siding, 8460 Dayton Springfield Road in Fairborn. Call for a free estimate at 864-2722. That's 864-2722 or online at lanceroofing.com.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. We just wrapped up Kev Nash's over-under, by the way. Over-under featuring tonight's Thursday night football matchup, the Dolphins and the Cincinnati Cheetahs. What? The 1-2 Cheetahs. 2-day. 1-2 day, baby. But no, good with the Bengals 3.5. Bengals a 3.5 point favorite coming up later on tonight. Chris Lindsay says Willie is in jail with no bail. Willie, is that true?
Wow.
That's just brutal. Let's see. Randy Scott Jr. says over for JC. He says he will spread butter and jelly on those DBs, toasting them all game. Does he mean Joe B? JB?
No, I said JC.
Who are you talking about?
But he was talking about Jamar Chase.
Oh, all right. That makes sense. I don't know.
This guy. He said JC burn those DBs or something like that.
I said cap.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Cap or no cap. We should have got cap or no cap in today. Let's see. Chris Lindsay says, Kenner, I give the Brownies a big thumbs up, running all over my beloved Steelers. Like Kev said, we hot garbage.
Yeah, we're not good. We're not a good football team.
Shaw, I don't know what that emoji is. I think it's him putting his hand over his forehead, but he should put his hand over his mouth and move on. I don't know what that was for, Shaw.
Who team up north got this week?
I don't know. Let's see. Probably Bethune-Cookman or something. Probably real challenging this week.
Say they playing Wright State.
That's just cool. Well, just like UD, Michigan's not playing Wright State. What?
You're on a roll today, sir.
I don't know what it is. Speaking, excuse me. Speaking of UD, it was announced earlier this afternoon, which is pretty cool, of course, that the red and blue game is coming back. So that's pretty exciting. The scrimmage coming back, of course. So it's the annual Dayton basketball red blue game, which will be held on Saturday, October 15th. The red and blue game timeline, doors open at 12:30. 12:45 to 1:45 p.m. There'll be an autograph session for members of the men's team, which is presented by CareSource in the East Concourse Club. Now, from 1 to 2, the women's basketball on court warm-up and inter-squad scrimmage. That's about tentatively 4 6-minute quarters, an autograph session to follow. So that's pretty cool. And then at 2:20, the men's basketball on court warm-up and inter-squad scrimmage, tentatively about 4 6-minute quarters as well.
Nice.
So they haven't done that over. There was all the arena renovations over the last couple of years, and then of course that went right into COVID.
Right.
So it's been a few years since they've done this, but I love when teams do this. When they do these just little special things to kind of tip off the season, I should say. Basketball season's here,
bruh.
I don't get it, but it's here. It's somehow here. We talked about that. The NBA tips off on October 20th. You said the 18th, but I guess like the whole league tips off on the 20th. But the 18th was that a Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday night game.
Tuesday night game. Okay, very cool. Speaking of the NBA and speaking of the Dayton Flyers, Obi Toppin. Will he see more playing time for the New York Knicks in 2022? Well, Coach Thibodeau was asked about that today. I don't know how promising his response was. We'll talk about that next.
Over the last year and a half, we all learned some hard lessons. One of the most important is that you can't put off the inevitable. Hi, this is Mark Davis at Dayton Memorial Park Cemetery and Mausoleums. No matter how hard it is to think about, we all need a final resting place. When pre-planning with your funeral home, please remember that cemetery arrangements must also be made. Call us today at 937-890-1831 or visit our website at DaytonMemorialPark.com. And remember, Dayton Memorial Park is a beautiful place to celebrate life.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Hungry for a great time? Maybe some great food? Then come on down to your neighborhood Submarine House. Try our Philly cheesesteaks, our oven-toasted deli subs, our mouth-watering salads, pizzas, appetizers, and more. And wash them down with a unique selection of craft beers while watching the big game on our big screens. With locations around Dayton, in Columbus, and our newest sports bar in Kettering, you're never far from a Submarine House. Subs, sports, spirits. Submarine House.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
WING 1410 Dayton, Dayton's ESPN Radio.
Tomorrow night, Buckeye legend, college football Hall of Famer, Dayton's own Keith Byers and myself, we will be live at Fairmont High School, of course, for the Fairmont Firebirds. We got the Miamisburg Vikings. It's our Week 7 high school football game of the week. Week 7, Kev. Week 7, 70% of the way through the season already. It's unbelievable.
Are you ready for the playoffs?
No, because the playoffs are as exciting since they let every freaking team in.
Pull the mic. I can't hear you.
You couldn't hear that?
There you go.
You couldn't hear that? Sorry, it's my first time on radio. No, I hate that every team gets in the playoff. That's annoying.
You want exclusivity.
It used to mean something. Like, yes, I mean, winning a state title means something, but like winning a state title is very, very, very hard. Making the playoffs used to be very, very hard. Now it's very, very easy, and it just feels like some teams that make the playoffs are like, crap, we got to play another week. I'm serious. There are bad teams. There are 3-win teams that make the playoffs. Last year, there were 2-win teams that made the playoffs. That's a problem. But, hey.
Wish it was like that when I was in high school.
I mean,
many years that we won 2 games.
I mean, if they did that in college, I mean, the teams that Shaw's Michigan team plays will be in it. I mean, it's just insane.
They play Iowa this week, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, boy.
Real competition now.
Oh, boy.
Well, at least compared to what they saw Maryland give them a scare.
You know what? I know we're about to move on to another topic, but I have to give.
Kevin's always trying to avoid the NBA talk.
I have to give props to Mike McCarthy. I have to give props to Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys, especially Mike McCarthy. Obviously, Dak Prescott, their starting quarterback. People differ their opinions about Dak Prescott. Fact of the matter is Dak is their starting quarterback long term for the Dallas Cowboys. So for the Dallas Cowboys to win 2 games with Cooper Rush as their starting quarterback and get through a divisional game versus the Giants and to beat the AFC champion Bengals the week before, you got to give a lot of credit to Mike McCarthy and that coaching staff. If we want to bash him for when he doesn't know how to tell time and messing up everything like that, we got to give him props when they do stuff right. So I want to go on record as publicly saying good job these last 2 weeks to Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, Dan Campbell has killed it. What?
Man, they just
Kellen Moore.
They just choking away games up there in Motown, man. They just choking away these games, man. Like they're losing all these games close. I thought that was last year, but I guess they're just going to continue to roll into this year.
Yeah, last year was like cute. It was like, oh, they're so close. And now it's like, oh, when you lose close games, that's coaching. That's coaching. You know, it was coaching that cost the Browns that game against the Jets. That was all coaching. I mean, we could blame the players. Yes, they got to, do what they got to do on the field, but coaching. Like it just, the Bengals lost that game against the coaching between, punting the ball when there was time left running on the play clock and not challenging the obvious touchdown that was, for Jamar, like bad coaching, gets in the way every time.
You bring that up. The catch that Jamar Chase that was clearly in the end zone that would have gave the Bengals. I want to say that would have gave the Bengals the lead. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. But
it would have been with about 2 or 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. So ultimately which
would have been the game winner because with the way the offenses were going, it was like that would have been
right. The Steelers would have got it back and punted, and they would have had another chance. So was that before the long snapper got hurt or after the long snapper got hurt? Because if the long snapper isn't hurt up until that point, like say Jamar scores that touchdown and the long snapper isn't hurt, they kick the extra point, they take the lead, they probably win the game as opposed to the other way around. Like they prolong the game to allow the long snapper to get hurt. Not remembering the game all like that. Just a question out there for the Cincinnati Bengals fans if they could
Brandon
remember.
Kelty said after.
Okay.
Brandon, you changed your. Oh no, I think you were talking to us on YouTube a little bit ago. But his logo is the Bengals white helmet. I have to say this because Brandon, I know I poo-poo on your team, but their helmets are the coolest helmets in football. The white helmets.
I mean, they got the white end zones tonight too.
I saw the what's like gray. They could have whitened that out a little more. It could have been whiter. I'm just saying. It could have been like Beach Boys concert white. Like I'm just saying. Like it's a little grayed out. It's a gray out. What?
Goodness gracious.
Kinner, that's Cap.
There you go.
What'd I say?
Get him.
All right. Okay. So, but it is what. Anyways, Brandon, the white helmet's coolest in football. Unless he's saying Kinner, that's Cap. Like the helmets are not the coolest. What's the coolest helmets in football? The white. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know me. I'm looking for everything to rip the Bengals for. The helmets, the white helmets, nothing cooler in football than those white helmets. Nothing cool. I think those are badass. And then you put the white jerseys with it. They're going to look sharp tonight. They're going to lose, but they're going to look very good losing.
How old are you, man?
32.
You sure you're not 52 using the words like sharp?
Brandon Kelty said, Kenner, what's cap?
we got to quiz you every week to make sure you remember what cap and no cap means.
Oh, yeah. Someone just mentioned saying, Kenner, based on you not knowing what cap is, you were definitely at a Beach Boys concert. He said, oh, come on, you already know who has the coolest helmet. I just told you. The Bengals, the all white helmets. Those are the coolest helmets in football. The Steelers all day.
I love our helmets.
I mean, they're black with a logo on it.
Oh, here you go. A team that does not have a logo is.
And I'm not bragging about the all orange or the Cleveland Browns with an orange helmet and my Halloween costume in the middle of the field and then a barking dog. All right.
And an elf on the field.
And an elf. That's what I'm like, no, I'm not giving my team props for anything. They're a very confused franchise.
Raiders are always up there.
Yeah. The Chiefs helmet. He said the Redskins old helmet, the Chargers helmet, and the Raiders. The Chargers isn't bad. I used to hate when they switched to the powder blue, but I think that those are the cool. Like I like those. I like the Charger jerseys.
I liked it when they only broke them out on quote unquote special occasions. Now that you see it every single week, it's just lost its special appeal to me. I always love the Raiders, always like the Bills, but this white helmet for the Bengals is fire. It's fire.
See, and guys, stop arguing with me. I'm finally complimenting the damn Bengals, and people are coming at me. No, it's the Seahawks. No, it's this. No, it's that. No, it's the Bengals.
I wonder if the Falcons are going to break out their old school red helmets this upcoming season.
The Falcons, yeah. I thought I read that. See, I used to love those because it was like less is more. And like it was just the boring black jerseys. The boring black jerseys with the white number and then the red helmet. Like I always thought those were cool.
Yeah.
Not bad. But to sum up, good for the Bengals. Joe Burrow's helmet's gonna be white with a lot of green and stuff on the back.
Teal stripes on it.
But the whitish gray end zones are a good touch to the whiteout tonight. Did you saw the picture? Look at the picture. Go to Twitter.
Look in there.
Say, oh, look at the white field as it's gray. Jake, it's the Bengals debate a wall comment section. Huh? I'm so confused. Jacob Fightmaster says, Kenner, Hawks have the coolest in the NFL.
The old school Seahawks look dope.
I like the Seahawks now that they don't have Russell Wilson anymore.
Oh, goodness. Let Russ cook.
Now let him cook. Generic cereal in a bowl with 2% milk. That's what he cooks. Look, bottom line is, I said he was overrated in Seattle. Everyone ripped me. And now look, they're riding in Denver.
Let's ride.
Let's
ride.
He said that was just primer. They made it wider. Okay, you just had a joke. Did they make it wider? Maybe it is a legit whiteout.
I won't know because I can't watch the game.
I see William coming in hot. He goes, more like Russell is cooked. Bam! Oof. What William said. I didn't agree with him earlier. I like what he said here. Russell is cooked. I'm telling the comment section to debate a wall. We did that during the election last time, didn't we? I'm confused, dude. I don't know what we're doing here. Like, build the wall. Build the wall. I know we did this already. Yes. How was the old Bengal logo better than the newer Bengal logo? What?
Ain't it the same logo?
I think these dudes are in other conversations. So, got to get that Prime Kev broadcast is clean. I'm done reading the comments.
Oh, get your Prime account. Okay.
Okay. I didn't know. He said the broadcast is clean. I didn't know what he was talking. Oh, the broadcast is clean. I didn't know what's happening. I'm reading these rapid fire. That's how I'm going to get canceled because I'm reading these things just rapid fire, not like, paying attention. So I got to be careful. I got to scope these things out. What were we going to talk about? Obi Toppin. That's right.
Yeah.
So last year, and I don't have the plus minus. I mean, the plus minus with Obi Toppin on the floor for the New York Knicks was really good. And I had it on my laptop. My laptop died because my charger's blah. But it's, the Bengals' chances of making the playoffs. It's dead. It just won't, whatever. But Obi Toppin on the floor has been a difference maker for the Knicks, but he gets just small chunks of time, and it has led to a lot of drama in New York, and you know how the New York media can be. Obi Toppin is a fan favorite. You can't not like the kid. I mean, I watched the TBT was here, and I thought it was cool because him and Jalen Crutcher showed up the first night. I was like, oh, that's cool, and they're taking pictures with all the fans, and they showed up the second night, and the third, and the fourth, and every fan that wanted a picture, every fan that wanted an autograph, he made sure to make time for absolutely every single one. He talked to every media member, even me. It was just a hello. But it's besides the point. No, but in all seriousness, he's like the nicest dude you'll ever meet. He has every reason to be the cockiest, most arrogant dude. You know what I mean? Like he has every reason to be that. I've met lesser athletes, significantly lesser athletes who think they're cooler than he is, and they're not. That's how cool of a person Obi is. So from a person standpoint, love the dude. On the floor, he's better in the NBA than I thought he was going to be. Everyone thought I was just hating for the Wright State UD thing that I always have with them and stuff. But no, I was like, I just don't know how his game translates outside of being a super athlete. Like, he can dunk. Well, everyone in the NBA can dunk. That's super. What does that mean? He can dunk. But the way he spreads the floor, he's worked like crazy with his 3-ball, right, Kev? Like, yeah. I know you're not drawing up plays to have him run off screens, 1-2-step fire and shoot. But he's just an energizer guy. He makes plays. He hustles. He rebounds. He does it all. I love Obi Toppin. I don't know if he's a future all-star. I don't know if he's never going to be the face of an organization. But there's a lot of room in the league for guys like him. And I don't think he's better than Julius Randle, Kev, to be quite honest with you. I know Randle is not the max player he had that big breakout year in 20, turned that into a max contract and kind of took, fell back to earth a little bit, right? Like came down to reality a little bit last year. And now there's a lot of debate of, how Obi needs time and Randall's in the way. That's why I said I thought for sure the fact that Obi's still a Knicks surprises me. I thought the Knicks would have traded him, but they haven't because they really like him. But they won't move on from Randall either because they can't, because no one's going to take that contract on until they see if Randall comes back and has a bounce back year this year. Thibodeau was asked about the playing time of maybe playing them together. They were asked about the plus minus of Obi Toppin being so effective. He snapped at the reporter and basically said, well, you talk about the plus minus. I actually watched the games. You can imagine how that conversation went. That's showing right there. I don't feel good about Obi Toppin getting significantly more minutes. And I don't know if he should. And here's why. The Knicks want to move on from Julius Randle. And I believe that the fact that the Knicks have not traded Obi Toppin over the last 2 years shows that they're being stubborn with him. One thing I read the other day was that Obi Toppin was one of the pieces that the Jazz wanted in the Donovan Mitchell deal. And the Jazz didn't even want pieces technically to begin with. That's one reason the Cavs made out, is because the Jazz didn't really want active players. They wanted draft picks, but they wanted Obi Toppin. The Knicks didn't want to move on from Obi Toppin, but Thibs doesn't want to play Obi Toppin. So what that says to me is over Randall. So it's like, I don't know what's going on in New York. I don't really follow Thibs too much and the Knicks too much, but I follow this Obi Toppin situation. I find it fascinating. Kev, what I think it is I think Julius Randle and Thibodeau will be gone at the end of this year, and I think Obi has not a breakout year. I think he's going to have a very good this year. I think he's going to have that breakout year, though, in 2023. What say you?
I'm rooting for Obi, but the reason he doesn't get a lot of minutes, and people got to understand this, man, he's playing for Coach Thibs. He's not a good on-ball defender in the NBA. He's a great weak side defender, but 9 times out of 10, when he's getting yanked out the game, is because he blew a defensive assignment. He's going to be able to score because he's super athletic. And like you talked about, he's up to his 3-point percentage. Yeah, like a 40-something point game in the back half of the season. Yeah, they were out of the playoff contention and everything like that. But having that confidence to go out there to put the ball in the hole helps a ton for your offensive game. The thing about Thibs, he don't care about offense. All he cares about is defense. You take a look back when he was the assistant coach with the Celtics on the team that won the championship team. His role with that team was, quote unquote, the defensive coordinator for the Boston Celtics. Yep. When he got to Chicago, what did he preach? Who was his favorite guy on the team? It was Noah. Yeah, D Rose was the guy out there scoring all the points and the most electrifying point guard we saw in a number of years, but he loved Noah because Noah was an energizer guy and played a ton of defense. He's a defensive head coach. So when you're playing in a league right now that's really all about offense, and then you have a defensive-minded head coach, he's going to be a stickler for the rotation. He's going to be a stickler for a help side defense and all that type of stuff. If Obi can get that down, then he'll play more. It's just as simple as that. So as far as if they're going to move on from Coach Tibbs, everything's on the table when it's the New York Knicks. Everything's on the table. Nothing's off the table. I know they kind of revamped the team. They got Jalen Brunson to come in and play point guard and everything. So we're going to see what they look like this upcoming season. But Julius Randle is a solid NBA player. I think Obi has far more upside, but that contract is sitting there with Julius Randle, and he's more of an established player, so he's going to get the bulk of the minutes. I don't understand, and Tibbs knows this way better than me. I don't understand how come they can't play together. Maybe it's because they don't want two of their bigs being lackluster defensive players. Maybe
that's what that main question was too. That question about, so the reporter had asked about the plus minus with Obi on the floor. Why doesn't he get more playing time just because of that? And he followed up with, have you thought about, or why don't you put him and Julius on the floor together? And he goes, well, because I watched the games. That was his immediate response to that part right there. I'm with you on that. The game's small. Julius isn't like a big guy.
Right.
And you can go small and play him at the 5 and let Obi run up and down as the 4. And then you have Jalen Brunson out there. RJ Barrett's been fantastic. They're not a bad team. By the way, Knicks or Cavs?
Knicks. I'm sorry, Cavs.
Okay.
Cavs.
That's what I'm saying. Quickly, don't forget about Quickly as well, but they also have Derrick Rose. They have Derrick Rose, they have Manuel Quickly and Obi Toppin coming off the bench. They're a good basketball team. They're a playoff team.
I think they just need to push the pace more, man. Like with Randall, it's a lot of catch and hold. It's a lot of catch and hold with him, and he's not the elite a scorer enough for you to be like, all right, let's catch and hold. Let's see what you can do. No, man, let's push the pace. And when Quickly and Obi on the floor together, they push the pace, and they are exciting to watch. And I've always said this: if you're going to be a bad basketball team and not win a lot of games, you better be excited. You better be able to have a bunch of dudes out here running and jumping and dunking. And right now, they're not doing that. Guess what they did the back half of the season? They just, all our main guys are hurt. All right, Quickly, Obi, y'all go out there and play ball. They started scoring in the 120s. Yeah, they was giving up like 122, but it was more entertaining.
Yep. It's the Justin Kinder Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. Jake Whiting, what up, Jake? He goes, remember when the Knicks thought they were getting Donovan Mitchell?
Remember they were getting LeBron?
Yeah.
Remember that? Hey, I can remember when the Knicks thought they was getting Michael Jordan.
They did get Michael Jordan. He gave it to him every freaking time he went in there.
Double nickel.
Trade Obi to the Cavs, Jake says. Look,
let's do it.
I would have loved that. They should be, first of all, no, the Cavs don't deserve to trade for him because they should have drafted him to begin with. But at the end of the day, it don't matter. The Cavs, they're set.
They're good.
Set. But I do know this. Obi is the perfect complementary player to this Cavs roster. They have a lot of bigs anyways, but I'm just Obi would be a great addition to that bench. If the Cavs find a way, like if you get to the trade deadline and there's a way to get Obi, find the Cavs, do it. Figure it out. Find a way. By that point, you'll find out who's working, who's not working, or whatever. But I would love to see that. That's for sure. Then he goes, they thought they were getting Zion too. they really got boned in the draft that year. That was so funny. I don't know. For that very reason, like I kind of like the NBA draft lottery because those dudes tanked just for a chance to get stood up at the altar. The music was playing. Everything. It was just, that was rough. That's for sure. But yeah. All right, folks, we'll step away for a few moments. Jay Morrison, Bengals beat writer for The Athletic, will preview the Dolphins and the Bengals Thursday night game tonight. We caught up with Jay earlier in the week. We have that coming up. Jason Fitz, ESPN Radio. We also talked about college football with him. We dove into we talked about the fact that, we know the 3 most dominant teams in college football: Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Who's that 4th team, though? Is it USC? Well, can USC run the table and represent the Pac-12 for the first time ever in the college football playoff? I shouldn't say the first time, but for them, it would be their first time. Does that happen? Do we get 2 Big Ten, 2 SEC teams in? We'll have that conversation with Jason Fitz coming up as well. But October 20th, the association, with all the additions the Cavs made. By the way, we talked about being bad and interesting and fun to watch. The Cavs are good and fun and interesting.
Yes, sir.
To watch. There are good basketball teams that are not fun to watch. The Spurs were always ripped for that. Remember, they just weren't good. Like, they get to the finals. Remember that year that the Spurs and the Pistons went?
Ugh.
That was 2 hideous offenses going head-to-head. It was the 2 best defenses in the league that year going head-to-head. It was brutal for TV. But the Cavs, they play defense. They get up and down. They can beat you in the half court. They got one-on-one guys now. They have it all. It's funny listening to Stephen A. and the guys talk about the Cavs because, like, they're not ready to give it to them yet, and I don't know why. Maybe for the first time I'm a Cavs homer. Am I a Cavs homer?
Let's do it.
I'm a LeBron homer.
We know that.
I by the way, I got some bullets in the chamber. Can't say that today.
Yeah.
I got some good arguments. That's just safer to say in today's day and age. But some hot takes. What is up with the bullets in the chamber coming? That didn't make any sense. But yeah, I got some. Like, Michael wasn't as good as you think he is. I found some good stuff. By the way, I have a folder on my laptop now. I just save stuff. When Kev brings this up, I'm gonna be ready to go.
You know, I never bring these conversations up.
Well,
as our listeners can attest, I don't bring it up because guess what? Michael Jordan don't play no more.
Well, you know what? It don't matter because I was like Joe Burrow week 1. I was unprepared in the past, but I'm prepared now.
You're prepared to argue with yourself.
No, I'm prepared to win. You just keep running away because you're scared. Just saying. All right, we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere. More
from North Carolina.
Hey, we interviewed that guy. Remember we interviewed that guy? Jake says, sounds like LeBron's team right now, the Lakers, they are so bad. Man, Jake, you keep using that laughing emoji a lot. About to win it all. Anthony Davis going to be healthy. Pat Beverly. Cheer up. Just saying. No. All right, folks, we'll be right back. College football, Bengals, Dolphins talk. Jay Morrison, The Athletic, next.
Get.
I do got to air that for people one time. Anyways, we'll be right back.
The Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Presented by Brad Mays with Home Experts Realty. Weekdays at 3 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The mid-afternoon and early evening will be mostly cloudy, a high near 68. Tonight's going to be partly cloudy, a low near 45, and tomorrow's going to be clear and sunny, a high near 72. I'm Pete Spivak for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather is brought to you by Cullet Propane. 98% of their customers recommend Cullet. If you wouldn't recommend your current supplier, check them out at culletpropane.com.
At Harley-Davidson of Xenia, the atmosphere is positively electric as we look to the future. Our name may have changed, but Harley-Davidson of Xenia has been locally owned since 1984. Under our new management, the staff and store are buzzing to get you set up for the open road. Whether you're shopping for merchandise, a new bike, or just need some maintenance on your current ride, Harley-Davidson of Xenia is here for you. Visit us online to learn more and to place a reservation on your new bike. hdofxenia.com.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
When you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get great savings and round-the-clock protection, which is as beautiful as looking your firstborn child in the eyes for the first time. Well, that's a bit much. Maybe it's more like looking your second-born child in the eyes for like the third or fourth time. Point being, the savings and round-the-clock protection are really, really magical.
Forced Metaphors. Presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Get what you want and pay over time when you use your Lowe's Advantage Card. Now through October 26, 2022. Ask for 0% APR with 36 fixed monthly payments on a product installation or appliance purchase of $1,000 or more. Shop for the appliances you want in-store or online. Or go to the store nearest you for installation. Now at Lowe's. Offer subject to credit approval. Minimum monthly payments required. See store at Lowe's.com for details. U.S. only.
Oktoberfest at Milano's has begun. We're serving our once-a-year favorites like schnitzel sandwiches and German pizza. Get it to go or stay for the games with NFL Sunday Ticket. See you at Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps for big screen football.
What QC Connect